Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brewbuilt Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brewbuilt line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brewbuilt Conicals. You can trust Brewbuilt with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brewbuilt at morebeer.com.
Feels like work. Shooting the shit for 2 hours, drinking beer and talking beer. What a wonderful experience.
Can we not have the barf bucket near my mixing board?
I think everybody could read the book.
I knew you were going to use this book as an excuse to quit doing this show.
Mrs. Bub, if you want, I can mail you the Bub Timer.
Yeah, Newcastle, especially in the can. Have you ever had it in the can?
No, I have not had it in the can.
Notice I closed my eyes and I concentrated really hard.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Good day, boys and girls. Welcome to The Session. I'm your host, Justin Crosley, joined today by Jason Petros,
Hi.
who has a new tattoo.
That's true. I got one.
Wow, look at that. I just noted it. But now, I don't want to see it yet, because,
Okay.
but from the bottom right now, it looks like you got EJ Fair's logo tattooed to you. Just the bottom portion of it right there.
You are really good. You have a good eye. I mean, you have your glasses on, so it's cheating, but
Right.
how did you know that?
I knew you loved EJ Fair, but man, did you went for
Shorty's
that.
Revenge is my jam, dude. Every day.
We'll get back to that in 1 second. Also joined today by Teresa Pasuti.
Hello.
Of Crooked Lane fame. And Beardy's over there.
Oh, hi, Justin.
And Bevo is here.
Hi.
Fresh off a trip from New Orleans. Surprised she doesn't have a new tattoo, actually.
I almost did.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You almost got a tramp stamp?
No,
Of what?
absolutely not.
Did Sam?
Of the Saints logo?
Good now. But
Yeah, what were you going to get?
the Deathly Hallows symbol from Harry Potter.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
Were you just drunk one night, and that's why you say you almost
it'd
did?
be
Or,
great.
or what?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I was. I mean, I've wanted to do it for a long time, but I've had enough liquid courage to actually do it.
The only one you have right now is my logo, right?
Yeah, I'm going to cover that up with.
No, how dare you?
Downgrade.
I'm hoping to get a big mole put on it over it.
Because we have a new hop grenade. You can get that one.
Oh, okay. No.
Okay.
You could. Yeah.
Let's see, JP. Let me see what you get.
It's
What'd
a
you get here?
little... It's a cat head.
It's a cat.
Oh, it's a Wesley.
It's sort of a Wesley, but it's also after those 50s Halloween cat head.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, with the decorations. I don't know. I kind of vibe with that.
What does it say on the top of it?
It says "Memento Mori," which is a Latin phrase for "Remember, you will die."
Oh,
yeah. But the cat's real happy, and I think it's
I like it.
Juxtaposition of the thing.
I mean, it's all bloody and gooey right now, but I can tell it's cool though.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I got it last night.
What's the weird Band-Aid over in the corner for?
It's because my so you put the second skin kind of thing on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it sprung a leak in the corner.
Okay.
So I'm I feel this just trickle coming down by the back of my arm.
Yeah.
And I was
So
what
just like an ink spill coming out.
Yeah, so I had to
blood?
push it out
Pus, all that.
like a blister, and coax it all out, and then I had to block it back up
Okay,
again.
Milk your tattoo.
Yeah. That's what we do, man. I don't know.
You just got it last night, huh?
Yeah.
It wasn't a drunken thing for you? You planned this one out?
Yeah, I've been planning it for a little bit. I honestly, since
mine's
my birthday.
planned. It just my artist isn't planned, so it could go north or south. But honestly, the artist can't be worse than the artist that gave me my current tattoo.
I'll do it for free.
I thought about getting a cat tattoo, actually, believe it or not. You believe that? How far I've come. I used to hate those animals, but yeah, I saw
for Hugo,
somebody. Yeah, for Hugo, my little cat who died. Because I saw another person with one that somebody had done a nice job.
Yeah.
It's hard to do pets and faces and stuff. I think I think that most often they come out pretty bad if you try to get like your kid's face
like
or whatever.
Photorealistic looks weird. Yeah, this is more like cartoony, which is that because I agree with you. You can't go realistic with a cat.
Well, in general, no, but this person had a really nice one. I mean, every now and then you can get a good one.
All right.
It's the same reason I didn't stuff the biscuit. You know, we had talked about stuffing the biscuit
which
when
is
she
one of
died.
my true regrets of your life.
I know.
You not doing that for
Except,
me.
it was like Blobber Glop, who's like a taxidermist somehow on or whatever, had kind of said, I think it was him. It was like you can never really get the face right of a pet. Which is why a lot of taxidermy people won't do your pets because it'll never really look like the facial expression.
Yeah.
You can't really get right.
Yeah.
So you can't stuff a pet, and in general, I don't think you should get your pet tattooed to you either. But this person did a nice job.
All right.
What about humans? Could they get a human's face right?
No, have you seen these things?
Sometimes it's the same thing, right? Yeah.
You got to have I think you have to have a tattoo artist that specializes in faces, basically, to do it. Not that just does it randomly. You don't go to like your tribal tattoo artist and ask them to put your grandma's face on you.
Right. Like my guy's more like classic American style. Like he did my forearm too, so it's that like Sailor Jerry kind of classic sort of cartoony but more realistic.
Yeah.
I would never go, here's a portrait, do that, because I don't think that's in his wheelhouse.
Right. Yeah, you got to find the right person. Do you have tattoos, Teresa? You do, don't you?
I do. I have one, and it sucks. And I've
Did you get it like
the Brewing Network logo?
Did you get it when you were 12?
I was like, I got my fake ID for me. No, I think it was seriously the day I turned 18. I was like, hey, let's go get a tattoo.
Right.
And it was a bad idea.
It was a bad idea.
But I have to say, we in the industry like to be able to trade beer for things. And my husband, no joke, got a full sleeve tattoo by trading beer.
For beer?
Yes.
How much beer is a full sleeve worth?
I'm talking like multiple cases.
Okay.
But I mean, the work is amazing. I look at it and I'm like, I seriously don't know how you pulled that off.
Wow.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Tattoo artists are weird. They do a lot of stuff because they genuinely like it, too.
I know.
And
he did. He was like, you have creative direction.
Yeah.
But it came out so cool. I was like, you could have come up with something that good.
Right.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
It's funny. I was talking to my guy last night, and he goes, a lot of people will come in and they'll go, this is exactly what I want, and they'll have their fingers in every aspect of it, which he goes, it's understandable because it's on their body, but let me work. Like I'm telling you what will look better design wise or placement wise.
Yeah.
And
they won't even listen to that.
They don't want it. And he goes, okay. I mean, then I'm just copying some fucking artwork.
Yeah. Here's your shitty barbed wire.
Right. Well, hey, those are good. That's actually coming next.
Teresa, you're not going to tell us what your awful tattoo is?
Oh, you can see it. It's on my leg.
Oh.
It's a little snake surrounding a Volkswagen sign.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
It's super horrible.
Were you like a VW geek or something?
Oh, God. Yeah. Like in a former life, that was my jam. I rebuilt old Volkswagens.
Really?
I was way into it.
Have you seen my bus?
Could you rebuild his bus?
I should drive my bus up to the brewery one day and let you geek
work
out on it.
Yeah, right.
Let you work on it, yeah.
Let you trade me beer.
Make you an
I'll
offer
drink your
if you were
beer, too.
able to drive it all the way to the brewery. It's probably in pretty good shape.
She's in great shape, and I would no. Only when I die does somebody get it.
Okay, dang.
Yeah, no.
Can't blame a girl for trying.
She's part of me.
Don't worry, that's only a couple years away.
Yeah, exactly. So hang tight.
Yeah. That's also like leaving bills for your loved ones.
Yeah,
You're like, I got
right.
Fuck God.
Here's a lifetime of car maintenance.
It might be the only good investment I ever made. I paid like $5,500 for it, and well, there's a lot of weird noise happening.
Earphones.
Oh, those were your earphones.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Uh-oh.
I just turned those down.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That was strange. I wonder what happened there. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, probably the best investment I've ever made. I paid like $5,500 for my bus. It's worth about $30K now. People go crazy for those things. Because it's the camper, you know.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's trendy now.
Westy. Yeah, that's what I mean. So people
sell
go
now before it's back down to just $7,000.
No, I think
it's definitely
that one will keep going up, yeah. Because people just buy them up and they're all rusted and mine's not. And
okay.
Anyway, I got that tattooed to me, too. See?
That looks different than Teresa's.
I saw your bust tattoo.
Yeah.
See, Justin, we don't talk enough.
We don't.
No, we gotta hang out more.
This only requires looking at each other.
Yeah.
You guys are wearing these things.
Yeah. I don't really like to talk to anybody when the microphones aren't on, you know? It's like, just don't bother me. Teresa's so nice, too. She's like, do you mind if I'm in here before the show? I don't know. I guess it's fine.
Well, you answered her, though.
Are you going to talk to me?
I just ignore her.
Sometimes you got to have alone time. Like, I get it.
Like my whole life.
I am that way. At my brewery, it's kind of sad because I'm getting my work done, and then we open, and I just look around like, oh, God, there's patrons.
Right.
They probably don't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
There's a reason you face the monitors away from the door.
Yeah.
So that way you can just keep your back to whoever walks in.
I do that. It's true. We had our 5th anniversary party here yesterday at the Hop Grenade, and a bunch of our regulars come out, and they all know me. I don't really know them.
Sure.
And I'm always aware of how much of a dick I am on our anniversary day because they're all so nice, and they're like, hey, Justin, congratulations. It's so great. We don't ever really see you. And I realize it's because I walk in the door, I keep my head down, I go to my office here at the studio, and I do the same when I leave. And I don't really, it's like, it's Kevin's job to talk to everybody, not mine.
Right.
But they're all so kind and so nice and so cool. Then I party with them on the anniversary day. And by the way, today, if I saw them, I'd ignore them again. Right. But it's so nice it's so fun to hang out with them and celebrate.
Yeah.
And then I just want to be left alone.
One day a year, you give back to them.
That's right.
By giving them 10 seconds of your attention.
Of my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's what it's about. That's what life is about, really.
Yeah.
Just
giving back,
metering out small doses of time to people.
Yeah,
it's
true.
It's that variable schedule reinforcement. So they never know. Like, oh, maybe today's the day.
We can only hope.
Always leave them wanting more.
Looking with their little hands together.
Like, yeah,
that's why Willy Wonka was so popular.
Keeping them on their toes. I feel like it works out that way.
If you chatted everybody up every day, they'd just be like,
Yeah. See?
Whatever.
Exactly.
Here's this asshole wanting to talk to me again.
Yeah.
I just want to drink my beer.
It was a really good time, though. I'm hungover. I got hammered.
Nice.
And then went to Vinny's and almost got in a fight.
Oh, good.
Oh.
I feel like that's happening more and more.
With me?
Yeah.
Justin getting in fights?
You want to talk about something? You all right?
The fighting part?
Yeah, almost getting into fights. Because weren't you yelling at someone the other day and someone had to pull you away?
I think so.
Telling some story that I half paid attention to. But
right. That sounds accurate. I don't remember much these days.
It's like 2 times in the past, I don't know, 3 months?
Yeah.
Something like that, 2 months?
That one might have been my fault. This one wasn't my fault. This was just a crazy person who thought I was the cop who arrested him earlier in the day.
Oh.
And then wanted to beat my ass.
Yeah, all right. Understandable.
And I think maybe the recent fighting is that I used to just be like afraid and I'd be like, oh, I don't want to fight. I'd like walk away.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of like, yeah, I kind of feel like fighting too. Let's fight.
Yeah.
Why not?
Kill me. I don't care.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Checkmate, asshole.
I got, I signed up for life insurance, and so I figure maybe that's what I'm doing. It was a fun party. I do want to thank everybody for coming out to that. It was a really good time. I want to thank the Rare Barrel for doing an anniversary blend for us that came out really great. Fieldwork also brewed an IPA for us for our 5th anniversary. That was really nice too. And everybody who was here was very cool. And in fact, Tasty came out. He was feeling pretty good. He said that treatment is going well. He just got tested, and all of the things that he has are shrinking. He has tumors in various places, and they're shrinking, so the doctors are happy that things seem to be working. He was in between treatment and feeling okay, so he came out to hang out with us, too, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, awesome.
He says he can't really taste beer. Like, his taste buds are all fucked up. From the
surgery?
No, from the chemo, just the treatment, just the medication. It kind of just messes with your senses, I guess. And so, for one, he only feels like having a a beer, he says, like about once a month, whenever he's just at the right moment in between treatments that he's not, feeling ill.
Yeah.
But then even when he does it, it doesn't really taste all that good either. So that's kind of a bummer.
It's also probably beer.
It could be,
There's a lot of bad beer still out
right,
there.
yeah. Well, because I gave him a sip of our rare barrel beer, and he took a sip, and he's like, I'm sorry, I really can't even taste it. I don't know, So I was like, wow, man, this is maybe the most tragic thing happening to you right now. You love beer.
Yeah.
That he can't, his taste buds aren't working too well. But he was looking good and feeling okay. And in fact, he said he talked his doctor into taking like a week off treatment because one of his kids was out to visit him, and he wanted to come to the party, and he wanted to feel well. So the doctor said, treatment's going well enough, that's fine. We could put off your next dose for a week or so.
Awesome.
So
that's cool.
Just letting everybody know that Tasty's doing all right, and he's going to continue with treatment, and he's awful hopeful.
Nice.
So, yeah. Today's program is brought to you by More Beer. Go to morebeer.com and check them out. They've got everything you need and probably a bunch of stuff you don't need. But they've got everything for home brewing, winemaking, coffee roasting.
Coffee roasting, baby. That's right.
They've got it all. Go to morebeer.com and thank them for supporting this show for all of these 14 years they've been doing it. On today's show, we've got Humble Sea Brewing Company out of Santa Cruz, California. They're hanging out in the studio. They got a pretty unique story. I'm told they were able to start their brewery for $10,000. $10,000.
Wow. In Santa Cruz.
In Santa Cruz.
That's not a cheap place.
And they found some loopholes. They've got a pretty unique kind of startup deal. So we're going to learn about that. And they brought us a bunch of beer, too.
Damn.
Well, at least there's that.
They brought you a bunch of IPAs, JP.
Oh, good. God bless, dude.
And a Pilsner.
Okay, well, God bless, dude.
Yeah. So we'll be talking to them in just a few minutes. Let me get through a few announcements. Announcements are brought to you today by Drake's Brewing Company. You can go to drinkdrakes.com and check them out. And they're celebrating 30 years of beer. 30 years.
Whoa.
Drake's. You believe that?
That's crazy.
I was 3 when they opened.
In the craft beer world, that is virtually unheard of, right? They're having the Drake's Jubilee on Saturday, August 24th to celebrate 30 years of beer, and they're doing like an old school midway, like game, like circus carnival type thing. Awesome. You can go get your tickets at drinkdrakes.com. All right, so this Hop Grenade here in California just celebrated its 5th year, but our Hop Grenade tap room in Fort Collins, Colorado is celebrating our 2nd year on August 4th. So that's this coming weekend, I think, right? Yeah, this coming weekend. It's our 2nd bash. I will be there. It's in Fort Collins, of course, so if you're in the greater Colorado area, northern Colorado area, come party with us. It's from 4 to 8 on Sunday. We're doing a concert in the park. We've got 5 different breweries are joining us to pour beer there. We're doing a beer garden with Funkworks, Gilded Goat, which is like the closest brewery to us. In fact, they brewed an anniversary beer for us too. Horse and Dragon, New Belgium, Odell, and one of my favorite German-style breweries there is Vai is going to be pouring. So come hang out with us. It's at the East Lawn at the Foothills Mall, and apparently the band that's playing is pretty popular locally. The Great Salmon Famine.
Okay. All right. I'm imagining it's a jam band.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah. So that's this Sunday the 4th, and we're going to be doing cornhole on the lawn. Of course, we got the 5 breweries. There's a bounce house for kids. I think we're putting water guns out for kids, assault rifles for adults.
Hell yeah.
And a bounce house for adults?
Yeah, and a bounce house, yeah. A little bit of everything. Come hang out with me. I'll be there and celebrate 2 years of the Hop Grenade with us if you would be so kind as to do so.
Cool, man. Sounds good.
All right. You can support us by doing your Amazon shopping. Just click the Amazon link on the homepage. That's a great way to support us. You can also subscribe and join the BN Army for as little as $2 a month, and it goes a long way to help us out. You're also entered into the More Beer monthly donation giveaway, which is a chance to get $100 to spend over at More Beer. And like I said, just a good way to support us. What else? Oh, check out all our shows. We have lots of shows on this network. We have Heads and Tails.
Yes.
If you're
heard of that show.
If you're into distilling.
Yeah.
We have the pretty new Hop and Brew School podcast that everyone likes.
Yeah.
And that's all about hops. I'll be going to the actual Hop and Brew School. Beardy, did you decide? Right. Are you going to go or what?
Yes, I am going. So okay. I, too, will be there.
Nice.
Of course, you're invited also, JP. Everybody's invited. It's Labor Day weekend.
When is it?
Which is last weekend of August, first weekend of September, basically.
Give me the itinerary, and I'll see if I can make it.
I'll let you know all the things. Cool. Check out our shows, and you can go to search for Hop and Brew School in general if you want to come to that. It's open to professional brewers and home brewers, and the Brewing Network will be there.
Shit. That's cool.
All right, get stuff over at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Send show ideas and feedback, which we love to hear, to feedback@thebrewingnetwork.com. Oh, I forgot to even read the feedback today.
But we love to hear it.
Yeah.
We don't read it.
Guess you're all going to read it with me for the first time. What's today? The 29th, huh?
29th, baby.
I really am hungover. Feedback. Okay, do we have a Twitter game today?
Yes.
Great. Twitter game is brought to you today by the Wine and Hop Shop. Go to wineandhop.com. They've been locally owned and operated for over 40 years. They ship most of their items within 24 hours, and BN listeners get $8 of flat rate shipping. Anything under 25 pounds. Just use BN shipping in the notes field. Madison, Wisconsin residents, order your homebrew supplies online at wineandhop.com and then pick them up at Working Draft Beer Company, which is a great way to do that. You get a beer while you're at it. Located on Wilson Street, right across from Central Park. They'll waive the shipping and give you half off your first beer. Go to wineandhop.com and check it out. What's our Twitter game?
Well, I don't know if you know this, Justin, but the beer world is in crisis. The craft beer world is in crisis.
Oh.
Yes. I don't know if you knew this. We have cloudy beers, hop creep, style creep, pastry stouts, bourbon, pale ale. We have all sorts of weird shit these days. A hard seltzer. Thing now, craft breweries
that seems to be the thing.
Are making hard seltzer now.
It's the end of days.
It's just dumb. So it needs our help.
Okay,
craft beer needs our help
again.
We
did it 14 years ago, and we can do it again. I believe in us.
So Doc, blast from the past. This is where Doc has been. He invented a time machine.
He's still alive, right?
Well, yeah. He just came back in his time machine. You didn't know that?
Got it.
And we need his time machine to save the world from bad beer. When should we go, and what should we do when we get there?
Okay, Doc's time machine. Where do we go? When do we go?
Very Back to the Future-esque.
And what do we do there?
Yeah.
I like this game.
All right.
I believe in you, BN Army. We can save it. We can save beer again.
That's right.
All right, that's our Twitter game.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some feedback. Feedback is brought to you today by the Beer Law Center. You go to beerlawcenter.com, check it out. John protects my trademark. He can do the same for you, or he can do your brewery filings.
He can just talk to you, dude.
He's a great guy. He has
you need a friend?
He has a legal aid that works for him. Yeah. That's name is, I don't even think it's real.
Okay.
Her name is London Davenport.
Damn, dude.
That's not real.
That's a real name.
That name comes with the title, I feel.
Yeah.
That's Duke of.
Yes. That's like, what's
Earl
that guy's
of
name? Like Cumberbatch?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch.
That, right? Anyway, just another reason to go over to Beer Law Center. He's got great names. Okay.
John.
Right. Like John.
It's Mankiewicz.
Yeah.
It's the business of fake names.
Yeah.
Mankiewicz, that's not real.
That's not real.
London Davenport, no.
That's not real. Okay. Drex, speaking of names, writes in. Hi, guys. First-time caller, long-time listener. I see that you're scheduled to record an episode this evening. Last week, when I tried to tune in using the audio provider, I was met with a random music playlist. That's weird.
Yeah.
Am I missing something? I ended up using a video link and was both shocked and delighted by Beardy's magnificent golden mane. Tonight, however, I don't see a video link for the show on live stream. It's there, right? The shows are great, and failing a live link, I'll listen soon via podcast. Just want to check. Yeah, so the audio links are still in flux. I haven't decided if I'm going to pay to put them up there anymore. But you can almost always watch on our YouTube page.
Yeah.
Which is youtube.com/Brewing Network. I've been pretty good about putting every single show there, and always on our live stream page, which Bevo is managing right now. So you can check it out there. All right,
Drex.
Yeah.
Go work at the Beer Law Center.
Noah writes in.
Another one. Another fake ass.
Well, this one's biblical.
Yeah.
He says.
Not really. You're right.
I've been using Duke Cannon soap for a year or two now. I love it.
Wow.
Remember, I was raving about the Duke Cannon stuff?
Yeah.
I'm wondering what's the best way to support the BN when I buy their soap. Should I use the Amazon link and buy their soap, or go directly to their site and use the coupon code? Which purchase does benefits most? You should use the coupon code, which I forget what it was, though.
I forget also.
Brewing. It was probably Brewing.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of that was like the pre-done. I think we only said it one time on the show, right?
On the air, yeah.
If only we recorded that one time. You could go back and listen to it.
Yeah, right. Then I would remember.
Might take some research.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's Brewing. Go listen to the episode. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But thank you, Noah, for trying to support us.
If that is your real name.
Drex S writes in.
I think it's the same guy.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think it's possible that we have two listeners named Drex that both wrote in on the same day?
Yeah. Hi, you
Is
might know
one
me
like
from
PKS, the other F, P-R-E-X.
You might know me from 1994 cartoon.
Hey guys, I wanted to say thanks and great job on the Beardy's Scotland trip podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Was that on Heads and Tails?
Yeah, it was the most recent Heads and Tails. Beardy went to 24 distilleries in 13 days and brought back some stuff, and we thought it'd be good to talk about and kind of just let everybody know what's going on over there.
They do things differently over there.
They really do.
Yeah.
Well, Drex S says, I found the little nuggets of technical info about the processes and equipment at these facilities super interesting. It felt a bit like on the session when the conversation veers toward describing unique techniques, which I always really dig.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep up the great work, and thanks for making a fun and informative podcast.
Oh, you're welcome, Drex.
The Rev writes in, what's up, asshats and Bevo? I made the trek from Montreal to come to HomebrewCon in Providence this year and had a great time. I've been a listener of the Brewing Network for about 3 years now and listen to you guys at work to help the time pass. I wanted to say thanks for everything you guys do to keep content fresh and humorous. After talking about Tasty with Justin at HomebrewCon, I finally broke down to become a private of the BN Army.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing like guilt.
Right? It only takes one of us to have a terminal illness to get you to donate. Here's to a speedy recovery so we can get him on the program again. And thanks again for help across all the shows. They're great. Keep up the great work from the Rev. Well, thank you, Rev.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'll give Tasty $2 next time I see him.
Well, you got to take your cut. You got to wet your beak a little bit on that.
Yeah, that's right.
Delivery fee.
Yeah.
All right, Michael writes in.
This one's a long one, and it's pretty brutal.
Is it?
Oh.
Yeah. It's about me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. He says, no, Michael, he did give us a name.
Yeah.
I've been loving some of the new material. I love the Hop and Brew School series. I love the new hosts on the session. That's you, Teresa. I love the new judge on Dr. Homebrew, Brian Shaw.
Brian Shaw. That's right.
This isn't harsh.
Yeah, well.
But there are some things that have been...
There's always a but.
But there are some things that have been bothering me or pissed me off this week in particular.
Oh.
Listening to JP's tortured interview this past week with the homebrewer turned pro brewer and genuinely good guy from Toasted Barrel, I had to write in and just say, shut the fuck up, JP.
He had to write in. He had no choice.
No.
He didn't want to, but he had to. He was forced to.
Everyone was thinking it.
Right.
So this, of course, was last week's show, right? We're talking about here. I wasn't here.
It was Lynn, Toasted Barrel, and it was a cool show. I thought the beers were good. He was a good dude.
Were you here, Pasuti?
I was, and I actually went back and listened to it because we were like in the room and we all had these big eyes like, are we all okay here?
Oh.
And I went back and listened, and I actually was laughing. I thought it came out pretty good.
Meaning,
However,
you were self-conscious that it wasn't going well?
I was self-conscious. I was feeling like maybe I didn't bring my A game.
Okay.
So I just wanted to go and double check because I thought, and then when I listened to it, I was like,
it was fine.
No, I thought you did great because you and Lynn were talking about stuff, and that's what you were doing great. It was a good
talking
time.
about stuff is always good.
Yeah.
Is it Matthew?
Michael.
Yeah.
Michael, if you met Lynn, you would understand. He's a goofball in the best way.
Okay.
Super goofball.
Well, let's see what he has to say. He specifically, he says, JP was basically crapping all over experimental and creative beer concepts because of his stupid biases.
Yeah, that's me.
Nobody gives a fuck if you have no appreciation for brewers pushing boundaries, playing with ingredients, and exploring flavors to maintain their small businesses by satisfying customers.
That's right. I'm very anti-small business.
It's
pro-craft beer, but anti-small business.
Yeah,
it's such a tired non-joke. We get it. You're a pedantic hipster who loves what he loves and craps on everything else.
That's right.
You want me to keep going?
Sure.
It's just shitty when you throw that shit in the face of a guy who flew all the way from Utah to sit in front of you and share his craft. It's pathetic, man.
And I don't know what the fuck he's on about. Like, I don't either. I liked his beers. I thought everything was very good.
Did he say, "Oh, I put maple syrup in this," and did you lose your shit? No. Okay.
Because if I was on this side, if I was at this microphone and I could read the room, and Lynn was a very open, he's a listener, right, long-time listener, So if I thought I could get away with it, and as a joke, I would do that.
Right.
But in that chair, on that microphone, I would never do that. I would go, maybe as a joke, but never really, we're doing that. We're doing maple syrup still.
Right.
I would never do that.
Okay.
And so I have honestly, genuinely no idea what Michael's talking about.
Yeah, I don't either. In your defense, I was there. I didn't feel like you ganged up on him in the least.
No. I think he was a good dude.
I think Lynn even made a comment about how he went easy on him. After the end of the show.
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
After the mics went off.
I mean,
I think that was pretty tame, guys.
I think Michael just needs to.
Do you think maybe
car in the garage, close the door,
leave the car
roll
running.
the window down, but leave the car running for a good week.
I don't know what that.
Just listen to a session.
I think it'll fix it. Yeah, okay. It's almost like nerve therapy.
Do you feel? I feel like maybe he's combining shows. Like he has
That's possible.
like voices. Your voice in his head from from previous shows.
Oh yeah.
But as the host of this one or something, I don't know.
Probably. His tumor's acting up.
Well, he's got more.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is about other things, though.
Oh, okay.
The other thing that's been bothering the shit out of me for a long time is the intro to the Sour Hour. That intro,
everything that follows it.
The outro.
That intro is so fucking stupid and annoying. And then he quotes it. You know what? I got to agree with Michael on this one. He's not completely insane.
Yeah.
It's a horrible intro.
I've never heard it.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's
but there's like they say quotes in there or something like that. They talk over the.
No, he quoted. There's one thing. I should just play it, right?
Have to now.
Yeah. For Michael, he'd love to hear it.
Yeah, for science, definitely.
For science.
Yeah.
I mean, since he likes it so much.
In case he had to grind that last little bit of tooth flat.
Yeah.
That's right. He can't eat steak anymore because his back teeth are just stones.
Why is it not in here?
Maybe he was embarrassed. Maybe Scott's embarrassed,
right,
and killed it. I don't know. Yeah, I've never heard it, so it's hard to relate to that part.
Oh, I think I found it.
Okay.
You didn't go back and listen to it in response to the email?
No, I never do that.
The Sour Hour is meant for the serious brewer.
That's what he quoted.
The Sour Hour may contain some seriously funkified content. The Sour Hour is not for the faint of heart. So exercise some damn discretion, would you please? Sheesh.
I mean, that's basically
it's not
it.
very good.
It's not very good.
I love
right?
Push, but it's not very good.
I mean, I don't think Push wrote it.
I don't think he wrote it either.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. It was good to hear his voice on the BN airwaves again, but...
So now now Michael has a little bit of credibility.
Yeah.
Maybe you were a fucking asshole. I don't know.
I don't know, Teresa. Could Teresa listen to it fresh?
Pasuti's new here. She doesn't know.
No,
She's not going to say anything.
I'm always trying to be supportive. Even people goof up, it's
Yeah.
But I just...
I mean, I feel
didn't
like...
really see that. I mean... I probably would have dove in front of the poor guy if I felt like you were
assaulting him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I also feel like he would have emailed and said, "Hey, dude, what's up?" right after during a break. Like, why are you shitting on
this list? Oh,
Lynn,
Lynn,
the guest.
Right.
Wait, why would he have emailed during a break? He was here.
No, I said or during a break. If you're going to listen to the show, Bev, listen to the show.
I think that would be hilarious, by the way. If he's like, pardon me, JP, I feel really uncomfortable sitting in front of you, but I wish you would change your tone. And then a week later, you respond, you're like, shit, I just got this, Lynn. Sorry.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah. You know, you were there. You could have said something.
Yeah.
Next time you got a text.
It was in my spam folder.
Yeah. Short
Well,
piece of
as
shit.
it turns out, I did get an email from Lynn.
Oh, and did he feel the same?
It says, thanks again for having me on Monday. It was great to finally meet you. I had a blast during the session and will hopefully see you all at GABF.
Okay.
Sounds like he had a terrible time.
Weird.
P.S. Justin's an asshole for not showing up and making me deal with JP.
That's right.
JP didn't respond to any email I sent him during the breaks.
Well, he finishes by saying, anyways, love your network, but had to get this off my chest.
He had to, again.
Especially with how disrespectful JP was to the gracious guest last week. Peace out.
Wow.
Michael.
Okay. I mean,
is there anybody here, anybody who has one area where you might think this is coming from? Like, oh, yeah, maybe that one thing.
Be honest. I mean, I'm fine with honesty.
Because this is not like, oh, JP was kind of this way or this little. He's basically saying,
I was disrespected
the whole time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, is there anything you can think of?
I shit on his beer.
Not at all.
Yeah. Right.
I don't pay enough attention.
And Lynn,
Same.
Did Lynn hang out and have food with you afterwards?
Yeah.
Yes.
And everyone had an enjoyable.
And when we left, I think he was gonna.
Yeah, he was
hanging out.
like picking out bottles, and he was like,
okay.
He was.
I mean, I
down
think
for
that
the whole experience.
I think that guy like 4 times when we left because I understand he flew all the way out here with a bunch of beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That was very cool. Yeah.
Anyway, so I emailed Mike.
Oh.
You did.
I did because it got under my skin, man.
When did you get this feedback?
I was doing it today.
Okay, so you emailed
this morning,
it today,
and I emailed them, and I said, if you can, I said, thanks for the email. If you can provide any I felt like Moscow. If you could provide any examples of how I was being pathetic,
prove it.
Yeah,
I would really. I'm all for feedback, but when you just vomit insults at me, that's not like I go. Feedback is good, but when you vomit insults at me, that's not very cool.
Yeah.
And he wrote back, yeah, "You're right. I apologize."
And that's it?
Yeah, that's basically it. Like,
he didn't give you any examples?
No, of course not. No, of course not. Because I think he was drunk. He probably misread what was going on or assumed that because I was hosting, I was going to be a dick. So with that lens, he sort of read into shit.
Okay.
And then realized it, but it's too much of a pussy to say, hey, this is what was happening. So he just said, you're right. You don't deserve that because you do work hard,
right.
Trying to be entertaining and run the thing. And I just left it at that.
Do you think that maybe instead of having our guest on today, we should listen to last week's show and Mystery Science Theater it?
I really do.
The remainder
yeah,
of the program?
It'd actually be more like Inside the Actor's Studio, where you would break it down and ask me very insightful questions about my childhood
and why that came out.
Yeah. Right.
What were your motivations with that question?
Yeah.
But
what was your motivation for shitting?
There's nothing underneath nowadays.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Why, JP? Why didn't you just punch him in the throat instead of ask that question?
I like to play with my victims before I assault them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it was weird. But
I mean, JP, why didn't you at this moment in time insult his mother also instead of just his experimental maple syrup IPA?
Well, his mother taught me a lot about my sexuality, and I felt to honor her, I would not assault his beer. Whatever, I don't know. But no, the email, it got to me. It bothered me.
And so we always encourage feedback, as people know.
100%.
Clearly, as you can also now tell, we will read almost anything on the air.
Yeah.
So we do appreciate the feedback always. But I think JP makes a good point that something constructive in there would have maybe helped JP more than just throwing insults. Although it'd be far less fun than this was.
That's correct. Me, I mean, even if you don't do it for like helpful reasons, but if you say when you said this, I thought you were an asshole to the guest who flew. You know what I mean? Just a little example.
Because I'd like to know
help.
too.
Me too, but I'm not going to go back and listen to it.
Right? I mean, there's one thing for sure. Yeah, you can do anything you want. You know, I'm never going to fucking know.
It was just
even when someone complains, you're not going to go back and listen to it.
I just did 2 hours of slurs nonstop. You know.
Were you wearing your Maroon 5 shirt also?
It was actually a Mormon 5 shirt.
Yeah.
It was the Joseph Smith 69ing with the Buddha. And,
oh, God.
It was really offensive.
Stop it.
Well, let me say this on a serious note. From time to time, I can't be here. I have a business in Colorado that I have to be there sometimes, and I think that JP is both generous with his time and his effort, and is a skilled host. Otherwise, I would not hand over the keys to him. And I appreciate every time that he does this for us, and by us I mean our listeners as well, because the alternative is we don't even get a show if I have to disappear sometimes, and so we get to keep the show on track, and I think you do a fine job. We've gotten a lot of good feedback about that, and I, for one, appreciate it very much.
Well, thank you very much.
And I bet that Lynn appreciated it as well. And I'm handsome. And
he's not going to lie.
And JP's a little handsome.
Oh, man, you know what? It means more coming from the heart, and I know that last one really. I appreciate it. It's hey man, I'm not the greatest. I don't always like with the thing that I do or how I perform or whatever, but I'm just an amateur guy who's done the amateur thing for a long time, and I thought Mike's email was whatever. That's what he took out of it. That's fine.
Sure.
I'm trying to live by a rule now. There's a rule of never taking criticism from someone you wouldn't ask for advice from.
Oh.
So, Mike, I would never ask advice from you because you seem much more angrier than even Doc, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
Amateur critic over there.
Hey, that is one thing I'm good at.
I was talking about Mike.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I almost didn't put it in. I thought about not putting it. I was like, no, I have to. I can't not put this in. It's too good.
I'm glad that you did that, and it does. You know what? It takes some guts to put that on there too. JP, just so you know, listeners, JP actually curates the feedback.
True.
Which we don't really take much out, I don't think. Yeah. And so I wouldn't have seen this. He very easily could have not put it in there. But that's not what we do around here. We like to hear pretty much what everybody has to say.
Yeah, man.
And sometimes it's so that we can say fuck you.
That's also true.
So thank you to Michael for writing that in. Thanks to the Rev for writing in. Thanks to Drex and Drex S. Both of you for writing in. You can send your feedback to feedback at thebrewingnetwork.com. And guess what? We'll probably read it on the air.
Yeah.
You know.
I like Drex S more.
Yeah. All right. Before we go to the break, I just want to remind you about the 21st Amendment's new year-round beer, Spark Ale. It's a sparkling rosé ale.
Wait, that's year-round now?
It's year-round, and it's the 21st Amendment's new favorite. It's a year-round sparkling rosé ale. It's essentially a hybrid between a cider and a beer. They brew it with apple cider juice and grain-based sugar, then back-sweetened with peach, cranberry, and cherry juice. Is it a cider? No, it's not. But it sure tastes like one. It's the perfect beer for summer.
It really is.
It's also gluten-reduced with less than 10 parts per million of gluten for those who are looking for a good alternative to big malty beers. It's only 5.5% ABV. Guess how many IBUs, JP?
12.
0 IBUs.
Damn it, I thought that was it. I'm like, how could that be?
0. They don't even do that, like, token throw one pellet in the...
Oh, really?
You know. Go check it out. You can go to 21st-amendment.com to learn more and find out where you can get their brand new Spark Ale.
That really is a good beer. Is it a beer? It's not a beer, then.
It is a beer, I guess, because it's malt-based.
Yeah, but there's no
It's not a cider.
Right.
Yeah.
Does
a malt-based beverage?
Does a beer have to have... I'm asking this seriously. Yeah. By definition, does a beer have to have all of the 4 ingredients? Does it have to have hops in it?
Not in the U.S.
It doesn't, right?
No. It doesn't even have to be majority malt-based anymore.
Like
That's a recent kind of redefining.
Malt?
Okay.
I don't
or
think
just
so.
Has to be fermented by...
Jesus, beer really is in trouble.
I think that changed recently. I think they...
Really?
To where now... Essentially, under a brewery license, you could label something beer, and it could be a hard cider.
Okay.
God damn. Yeah. Where are we right now? What's
Words
happening?
have no meaning anymore.
This is 2019. Yeah. I like you, Warren.
Wait, did you mean like, or did you mean... Oh, my God.
Yes.
I think you meant love. I think that's what you meant.
Sure.
Bring back Reinheitsgebot.
Let me get us to a break so that when we come back, we can speak with Humble Sea Brewing Company out of Santa Cruz, California. I'm looking forward to hearing their story. Maybe you'll learn a few tricks about how you can start a brewery for $10,000.
Yeah, don't be pathetic during this interview.
I will try. I wish we could just have Michael on the phone the whole show so we can stop periodically and go, how was that question, Michael? Was that to your standards? Or was that a little too aggressive when I said, where did you go to brewing school?
You threw it in his face.
Well, I didn't like your tone, Justin.
Hang in there. It's The Session, and we'll be right back.
Tuned into this session because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
Welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. As promised, we have Humble Sea Brewing Company from Santa Cruz, California in the studio with us. We are speaking with Nick Pavlina? With an L, right?
Yeah, Pavlina.
Pavlina?
Yep.
What's your background?
That's, like heritage?
Yeah.
It's Croatian.
Croatian?
Yeah.
I knew it.
You did.
I guess.
We said that before they came in. You're like, I bet he's from the Croatian region.
I bet he's like first generation.
Croatian.
Nick Pavlina, he's one of the co-founders and the head brewer at Humble Sea. And then we've also got Frank Scott Kruger. He comes with 3 names. It was in my notes.
Damn. It was his writer.
And I
say all my 3 names.
And I don't usually get that.
Nom de plume.
Also co-founder and in charge of marketing. And I don't usually get the 3 names, so I thought, well, shit, it must be important to him.
Yeah.
That I go Frank Scott Kruger.
I'm actually offended that you did do all 3 names. I don't know who put that there.
Oh, really? You're the marketing guy, Frank.
It's my background, my culture, my heritage.
Yeah. JP, settle down. I feel like you're already being aggressive.
Well, I'm trying
towards them.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it in, but I
And
can't. It's when you get so much rage.
Yeah. Michael is obviously on to something.
Yeah. We might have to fight everybody in the studio.
He's already sent 3 emails.
Today, yeah. Also, guys, if things aren't going well at any point during the interview today, send an email to JP.
Please do.
And he will
at beardy@thebrewingnetwork.com.
During the interview?
Only during the interview.
So, like, for example, you could say, JP, I think that question was inappropriate, but instead of telling him, you email it to him.
That's right.
Because
you could establish a safe word. Like,
we should have this with every guest, Pasuti.
Macaroni.
Safe word. Yeah.
It could be churros, for example, based on your Disney churros t-shirt.
Right?
I feel like that's a great safe word because
right.
it's very rare that word is ever going to come up in conversation.
Right, unless you're churros.
Frank Scott over there is like, goddamn churros!
Running out of the bar.
Churros!
What'd you use this beer? Churros!
Welcome to the program, guys.
This is awesome.
How long has Humble Sea been around?
That's a good question. Our tap room's been open for 2.5 years, roughly.
Okay.
We've been selling beer for about 3.5 years.
Okay.
We've been teamed up for, I don't know, way too long.
Yeah, are y'all like, is it just
what does that feel like?
That's
just the 2 of you, or there's another partner as well? Or?
No, there's one more. His name's Taylor. He's actually driving a van down to Tijuana right now to drop off a bunch of art supplies that we collected over the weekend at the border.
Okay.
To the camps because there's a bunch of kids hanging out at the border and they have nothing to do.
You're going to make me cry right now in this chair.
Damn,
that is a very nice
Taylor
thing to do.
Make you cry. He's the one driving down the,
That's really cool.
So that's his excuse for not being here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Justin,
He's the selfish one.
I need to take next week off of work to go down to Tijuana to deliver art supplies.
Yeah.
I need to.
Cool. I'll place my order now. I need a dozen Vicodin.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple Xanax.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you can.
Yeah. Oh, my name? Oh, I'm Frank Scott.
Frank Scott Kruger.
Churros? Is it churros? Churros?
Yeah.
Churros.
FSK.
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice of you guys to do.
Was it like a community fundraising? Sorry. Or
now I'm calling Michael right now.
Oh, look here. Do you take my microphone?
No, this is
Michael is furious right now.
This is what I was getting at. The same question JP has is what I have.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we, we've got that story. Do you want to get into the Philanthro Brewery already?
I mean, not all of it. Can you just answer how you got the fucking art supplies?
Let's see, we're 5 minutes in and Justin already swore at the guest.
Well, not even 7
and
o'clock.
JP's the aggressive one.
I've never met this guy in my life.
We broke into the local middle school and stole them.
Right.
Yeah, so we did this event. It was called. So we did one back during the fires, the last fires. Hopefully, there's no more in California
Ever.
Anyway,
Yeah.
last year's fires. We did this thing called Fill the Truck. And we asked, we figured out like what was most needed at the time in Paradise, and we're like, cool, we're gonna fill this truck up with everything that's needed.
Wow.
In the area, and we filled it up on a Saturday. It was great. We just kind of posted it once, and everyone just kind of cruised through, grabbed some pints, dropped off a bunch of supplies.
Wow. Okay.
So similar. I mean, we view this as a similar kind of catastrophe, and we were like, cool. Well, we've got some push. We've got way more power than just us individually asking people.
Yeah.
So we put it out there on just a couple Instagram stories and filled up our van, and Taylor's on his way down.
So you just said basically to the community, hey, we're filling the truck again, this time with art supplies for kids.
Yeah, we asked what was needed.
Okay, yeah.
And they were like, a lot of people are giving us crap. Essentially,
who do you ask? Who did you ask what's needed?
That's a good question. So Taylor met somebody who actually did a fundraiser kind of like drive thing earlier, a few weeks back.
Okay.
And they asked what was needed, and they were like, stuff for the kids to do. And so they connected with a local skateboard company and got a bunch of skateboards down there.
Wow.
And so Taylor connected with them, and they were like, yeah, the next thing they need is like art stuff. Like they need art supplies. Like they're just basically like down there with nothing to do.
Yeah.
And so we were super specific. They were like, don't treat us as like a drop off, like a dumping grounds for like your old underwear.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I have a blender. Could they use that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, like I have all these knives.
Your types.
Okay, so they were like the coloring books, crayons. They were specific.
Yeah, whiteboards, a bunch of paper, supply, stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys all married? Because I'm attracted to you right now. This is a nice thing to do for the community.
He's the only one.
Sorry, bro. I think that's a really cool thing to do. You just had this idea. How do we help these kids? I read about it in the news all the time, and I just think, wow, well, they're fucked, and then I don't do anything about it. And this is a nice thing to do. Imagine sitting there. I can put myself in their shoes. I'm 9 years old, and I'm bored to death in what is basically like a holding camp.
Yeah.
Right?
Purgatory.
Yes. Yeah. That's a cool thing to do. Just a crayon would go a long way to help brighten my day, Yeah. That's cool. Now, okay, so now we can talk a little bit about you guys originally had this idea that you would be the first, you have a name for it, this Philanthro
yeah,
brewery.
You're proving the point why this never got off the ground.
Okay, what was the word?
We were like, we are going to be the world's first Philanthro brewery. And we were going to dedicate a certain percentage. It was something ridiculously high, like 30%, of not only our profits, but our proceeds, which we all know, being in the beer industry at this point, like neither of those are like
exist.
Even a thing.
Right. Yeah, we donated 0%.
You were like,
$0.
You were like, I got a great idea. We already are good at being poor. Why don't we start a brewery and continue to be poor?
Exactly.
For charity.
For charity, though.
For charity.
But it did. So you started out thinking you would, these high amounts of money you'd contribute. But what happened?
High amounts, and the first thing that people said was they couldn't pronounce it, just like you were like, filling, like anthrax, like what?
Yeah.
Philanderer, like
Ebola brewery.
We found out that people don't know what philanthropy means.
Even that, that's enough, right?
Yeah, so,
I do good things.
Yeah, 4 syllables is a lot.
Yeah.
And so we were like, all right, well, let's do this the traditional way, but still make giving like a huge part of our, like the core of our ethos and also our business model. Because we did like have a few sit downs in the beginning, and we were like, why are we even doing this thing?
Yeah.
Because everyone knows starting a brewery sucks. And it's like, why are we actually in this? And like, obviously the reason is not to make money, because that's pretty hard to do.
You could do something else, yeah.
And there's many other things to do that are easier. And it was definitely like, be a part of our community and do some cool shit.
Okay. But you didn't give up on it entirely. So you maybe changed the model a little bit, but obviously you still try to give back as much as you can.
Yeah, I think the model is actually more successful now, just being a regular old for-profit brewery that's trying to make the best beer we possibly can.
Okay.
So many people are bought into what we're doing on the beer side, but also just like we have a cool space to hang out. People are just into it.
Yeah.
And so the year before we opened, we did 23 events.
Okay.
And each one of those events, there were pop-ups around town we're giving away to a ocean-based nonprofit. And that was before we were open. And so now that we're open, we have I guess more sort of digital presence, more followers. Doing something like Fill the Van is like a couple stories. So it's really not that much work for us. We pulled our van around the front.
Yeah, I like this.
And we posted it twice, Yeah. On stories.
Yeah. It's not even that crazy.
And people are pumped. People are posting just dropped $100 at Target because I'm going to go drink beer at Humble Sea all day because they're buying a bunch of art supply. People want an excuse to it's that Tom's model, right?
Yeah.
People are overpaying for these shoes that don't really last. That's not what I'm saying about our beer.
But they feel good about it because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, they feel good.
Yeah. Have you cleaned up the beach in Santa Cruz yet? Because every time I go to the boardwalk, there's a sign that says I can't swim in it. Have you guys done that yet?
That's the worst beach in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it's a tough beach to clean up.
Is that the one, right? I'm only kind of being a dick. I'm right though,
no,
right?
We have answers and they're not good.
Okay.
The answer is yes, and the next day it looks the same.
Oh, really?
So we try to go to a little bit more sustainable nonprofits.
I see.
Ocean oriented, where they're doing research, on marine mammals, for example.
Mm-hmm.
People that have a little bit more longevity than we do. We've gone out and done several beach cleanups.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're they kind of bum all of us out though because nothing happens the next day.
You don't do fill the van with beach garbage? That's not an event you guys have done yet?
Not bad.
That'd be a lot of needles in our van.
Yeah. A smelly van.
Hazmat suit. And
Right.
We'll make Taylor drive that one too.
Well, and just to be as fair as I can, Santa Cruz is beautiful. It's a gorgeous place. So I only kind of make fun because I really like to go there. And then every time I go to the boardwalk, which of course is the tourist spot, right? Yeah. There is that sign on the beach, and I'm like, God, I love this place. Why can't I touch the water?
Just go to a different beach.
I know.
Go
to a different beach. Now, okay, so you say tap room has been open for a couple years, but you were producing beer before that, and you guys kind of have a weird startup story.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Where do we begin with that one?
Well, can we begin with that you started with $10,000 and that's it?
Yeah, exactly. So we got a little 1-barrel brewing system.
Okay.
I basically modeled it after my little 10-gallon homebrew setup.
Okay. Where did you get that from? Was it
it was mostly through stout tanks.
Okay, yeah.
But we also just kind of made the whole thing ourselves.
Okay.
But I was living at my wife's grandma's house at the time.
As one does.
Which is, yeah, exactly.
Well, when you start a brewery, yeah.
Yeah, when you start anything.
Right, yeah. Which is in the Santa Cruz Mountains. It's kind of a rural area. But we didn't even realize it was zoned for a agricultural use, like a winery or a horse stable. Mm-hmm. So we were brewing there anyways, just R&D. And we found this out. We're like, holy shit, we can get our ABC license to make beer here.
So when you say you were brewing their R&D, you didn't have a business license or anything. You're just
it was just a
you were a brewery in planning basically, and you thought you were just making recipes just to try things out.
Exactly.
Okay, but then you realize, oh shit, I could actually brew commercially here.
Right. So we're like, well, what's the biggest kind of system that makes sense here that we know we're not going to be brewing here forever? So we decided on 1 barrel. We're like, oh yeah, we can use it as a pilot brewery, which I wish we still did, but we don't have time to.
Okay.
So we started brewing, pretty much 5 days a week on
Wait,
a 1 barrel system.
How's grandma through all this? Are you like the deadbeat boyfriend brewing in her garage? Or is she cool about this?
She's, for some reason, she was super cool about it.
Okay.
I don't know. Slipped her some beer.
Yeah. Well, she likes cocktails and wine. She's a very social.
Yeah.
But she believed that it was like more than a hobby for you. Like she was buying into
she
the
believed
dream.
in us. Which is. I mean, we still thank her. I mean, we don't. We owe her everything.
Okay.
So we were able to basically brew on the 1 barrel for like a year.
Wow.
While we were building out our, West Side Santa Cruz spot.
So, okay. So at some point you realize this loophole and you go ahead and apply for an ABC license because you're brewing beer anyway.
Yep.
And you get your ABC license, I'm guessing, right? They're like, oh, cool. Go ahead.
This is how you out them. They still don't have it.
They're like, yeah, cool. Keep brewing on the farm. But then what? What are you doing with the beer? Because now you have a license, and where is this beer going?
Yeah, exactly. So we had 5 kegs a week to sell. So we tried to choose the best accounts in town, but nobody knew who the hell we were. So we were doing these like weird little bottling runs where we were trying to, give samples around town, and a lot of that didn't go over very well.
Why? Was the beer not good?
Well, the beer was okay. The beer was on its way up, but there's like there's a few mishaps where we actually like bottled and labeled things wrong.
Okay.
We ended up bottling like I don't even know how this happened, but it was like a partially fermented pale ale somehow. Like somehow I got mixed up, and it's like,
oh damn,
that beer's only 5 days old. How did that get in bottles?
Were you guys smoking a lot of weed at the time, or?
I mean,
there was some weed. There was some weed.
Average amounts for the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, that's
pretty normal.
So yeah, like if you're in Minnesota, it's a fuck ton of weed.
Yeah.
If you're in California, it's not
a
that
roach.
much.
Yeah, it's like a illegal amount.
All of the smoke from Santa Cruz gets blown up the hills.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you just get osmosis. You're always high there.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are all these beers Roush beers?
Why does this IPA taste like a smoked porter?
My first beer was called
yeah. So a couple mishaps, all right, with the beer, but you're still. I'm just trying to get a picture here. You're like going around town to places you like that you think would be cool if they carried your beer.
Yeah, exactly.
And what is your ratio of them like saying yes, we'll we'll buy a keg from you? What do you think you're doing?
I don't know. What do you think?
50-50?
I'd say way less than that.
I think it's tough because Taylor was pretty. Well, Taylor's pretty good looking. Our third co-founder is a very beautiful human being.
Okay,
so he's charitable and good looking.
He's
right?
Charitable.
God.
He's got a huge pearly white smile.
Right.
And
giant smile.
Can we FaceTime him right now?
Yeah.
These guys are like
he's helping kids on the border.
Yeah.
He's a 10. He's a 10 is what you're saying.
God, just want to give him a back massage when he gets back after that long drive. Okay, go on.
And he also worked in the bar industry and at a couple beer bars, managed like a tap room kind of place in town. So he had some connections for sure. But we were really like, we weren't. It's very opposite of like I often see like Urban Roots, like Peter Hoey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, that's a different start because Peter Hoey's got 850 years in the brewing industry.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And then he started a brewery, and he's got all these existing connections.
Right.
We
and
just
you
started
guys
as a bunch of morons in the Santa Cruz Mountains.
And one guy who was like a fucking bartender once, basically.
Yeah.
Now you're here though.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Who's that?
But slowly, I guess you must have started getting accounts. Even before you had the tap room, right?
Yeah, so I mean, we were obviously a one barrel system. You're able to R&D quite a bit. I think we brewed like 120 different beers.
Wow!
In the first year.
The first year, like 200 barrels a year on a one barrel system.
Right.
Pretty hardcore.
Did you have a job at this point?
Well, kind of, yeah. So I was a licensed contractor before this.
Okay.
Which is a blessing and a curse.
Okay.
So I basically started making all the beer and realized, hey, I can't really keep my job and handle all this.
I see, yeah.
So we hired a couple people, brewers, to help us out, and then I basically shifted to our West Side location to basically do like 90% of the build out myself.
Okay. That's how you save some cash.
Yeah, which obviously helps a shitload.
Yeah.
And I was also, living where the brewery was at Grandma's house.
Right.
So I'd try to come home, early every day to check on the brew day, to check on the beer, help out the schedule, figure things out.
What were you doing during this time, Frank?
Pretty much nothing.
Okay. You had another full-time job, obviously.
Yeah, so for the brewery, I was helping a lot with fundraising. So we like you said, we started out with $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So Taylor, Nick, and I both put in 30 with the endless threes.
Okay, yeah.
$3,000.
Yeah.
And that was like our contribution. And basically, we did that to pay our lawyer to incorporate us. That was it, right? So
wow.
That it paid that, and then we had, I don't know, $5,000 in the account or something like that to basically do nothing with.
Yeah.
So we had to figure out money, and we obviously went straight to banks. We were like, hey, let's we got this amazing idea. Check it out. We're like pretty unqualified.
Yeah.
And
we're brewing in a garage at Grandma's house.
Grandma's rad. Like, and it wasn't a garage, it was a carport, so there were no walls.
Okay.
So you just spontaneous fermentation.
Yeah,
arguably.
Yeah.
And so, I was working on we needed to raise money, but we didn't want to give up equity. So there were people who were like, hey, I know, like I have an entrepreneurial background. I had and still have a design agency, and I did a couple other startups on the way.
Okay.
So I have an entrepreneurial background, and I tried my best to schmooze investors with Taylor, and let them know, like, hey, here's our plan, and like this is kind of what we're doing. But it was debt financing. It wasn't equity financing.
Sure.
So it was a 4-year, 8% loan.
Okay.
And so this is essentially like, we just dug ourselves into debt, but through friends, family, and then network.
Yeah.
And then from there, we kept pitching banks, and they were like, no, you guys there's no fucking way. You guys don't have anything to put up for collateral.
Right. There's no assets to take from you when your dumb idea fails.
Or even business history. So.
Yeah.
They weren't interested in Grandma's carport?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even ours.
Right. Yeah. They're like, even that. Okay. So, banks said no. I've tried that too, by the way. Like, we bank with a big bank here, and we were open for a couple years right here at the Hot Grenade, doing great. Our bank loves us. They're calling us all the time. How you guys doing? Do you want to expand? Right? So the day comes that we want to expand, we go through the whole process, and they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to give you any money.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
There's not enough to take. Honestly, if I had a big brewery, I would have done even better, because at least there's something to take at a restaurant, at a bar.
If you default or whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing to take. So it just kind of what you're talking about. There's no collateral.
Yeah.
So the bank keeps telling you no, but your friends and family are saying yes, basically?
Yeah. So we raised enough to kind of get us going, and then put a down payment on our brewing system.
Okay. Which is what? What size is your brew system now?
10 barrel.
Okay.
House, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so also kind of a dumb idea. We should have at least done 15, maybe 20.
Yeah.
I
mean, have you ever listened to the fucking Brewing Network before? Countless brewers have come on this show and said they should have done that.
It's the Beer Brewers Homebrew Network.
Sorry, that one.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's a lot more money, right? So you're just doing what you can.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we were shooting for a 15 minimum, and then we're like, 10's cheaper. So,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not ideal, but none of the build out was ideal. Like nothing that we did.
Right.
Like, for the first 3 years of getting this thing open, we're even close to ideal.
Okay.
So I was working on that business development, and then Taylor and I had our other gigs, trying not to cost the business any money.
Sure.
Just be as thrifty as possible.
What about now? Are you all three full time at the brewery, or you still have your other gigs?
Yeah. So Taylor runs front of house.
Okay.
And now sales, as we're starting to do a little bit more distro, which is cool. We finally have enough beer.
That's great. Yeah.
Nick, head brewer, obviously.
Okay.
So they make the handsome guy front of house.
As you do.
Obviously.
They're not dumb.
Yeah. I mean, if the Brewing Network had a handsome person to choose from, I would have done that also. Yeah. But we just didn't. True. It wasn't in our lot.
That's true.
So, did what we had to do.
I thought JP was kind of handsome.
Kind of, sort of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ish.
But not personable. No,
but definitely not personable, no.
Yeah, if you think I'm not personable, Jesus.
No, I'm also a really good kisser, though.
That he has going for him, but that gets us in trouble. So
again,
so many awkward moments.
Yeah, and you get on lists.
Two sides of the same coin, man.
Well, I am fascinated by this story, but we have beer in front of us too, so we're going to take a little beer break and then get back to the story. Nick, tell me about the Pilsner that's in my glass. What's it called? Penelope?
Penelope Pilsner. Okay. Penelope's my firstborn daughter.
Oh,
how
nice.
Yeah, I mean, the beer is kind of my pride and joy. So,
you've always been a lager fan, or what?
Yeah, my passion's kind of always been, German lagers. As a home brewer, it's kind of mostly what I made. So this is kind of like our traditional German style, German Pilsner.
All German hops?
All German hops, Pearl and Hallertau Mittelfrüh.
Okay.
100% Weirmann Barke malt.
Oh, you go full German.
Yeah, a little bit acidulated.
I love it. We all have full pints of this.
We did. Usually we get samples, but we all went straight for the full pint of pills today.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Pilsner here? Let's do it.
Let's do that, yeah. Yeah, JP's really excited about the double IPAs later, but we started with the Pilsner.
I really
So
am.
can I ask you why you like the Barca malt? I've considered using it myself, and I haven't tried yet, and I was just wondering what you like about it.
Yeah, so we get some just like some extra oomph in the malt complexity, little sweeter. But it's, talking to other successful brewers in this category, and everybody uses it, and I've used a few of the different ones, and this has just been my favorite.
Cool.
German lager yeast, Meinstefan.
This is a southern German lager strain.
Ooh. That's like the Augustiner one, isn't it? The Southern German.
I don't know.
You don't fucking know, Beardy?
I've never been to Germany.
Wow.
You need to
You don't have to yell at the kid, dude.
Yeah. He's going to Alaska, though. His wife's going to kill him.
That's right.
We're talking about it at the break.
Oh, for sure.
I can only hope.
In 4 years, there's going to be a podcast series about this trip.
Yeah, she's like, let's go backpacking in Alaska.
And then he was never seen again.
2 go in, 1 come out.
On the next, where the hell did Beardy go?
If she says she wants to see the bus, say no.
Yeah,
Okay?
She was
somebody just died.
Somebody died.
That's right.
She was
Again.
telling me about this bus we need to go sleep in for free.
No. No bus.
She just, and I'm a strong
No bus,
swimmer, so
Annie.
she said I could make it.
All right, good luck, Beardy. I'll say goodbye to you after the show.
Swimmer.
You don't filter your beer. It's
we don't
clear.
filter. Yeah, we use Biofine.
You do.
Yep.
Do you properly lager? Is this like a 4-week, 6-week
It's
lager?
6 to 8 week.
Yeah. Okay.
8 if we can. 6 bare minimum.
Wow. Yeah, you guys do things the hard way, don't you?
Yeah,
you don't have a lot of tank space, probably.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I got it in beer. I'm not going to.
Yeah, not to do it
cheat
easy.
It's boring.
No. Well, and you're doing it right. It comes out good because of it. Yeah. This is a really nice beer. What's the next beer we have in our glass? I got to get us to a break, so I want to make sure we try this. This beer is called what? Swordfish
I believe
Fencing?
that is Swordfish Fencing. Yeah.
Are you responsible for these names, Frank?
Yeah. Did you swordfish fencing?
Whose fault is this?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm like a marketing guru or anything, but I appreciate good marketing. And this beer is called Swordfish Fencing.
So, what's your conclusion?
I don't know yet. You tell me the story.
Completely separate from each other.
I haven't decided yet, basically.
My conclusion is...
Still.
I think someone accidentally poured milk into my sample.
It is clearly a juicy, hazy IPA, right?
But it's like not that sort of marigold, dirty dishwater apple juice, unfiltered apple juice color. It's like light yellow.
You're right. It's like a light SRM.
It's a very wow. Damn, bro.
I learned this thing.
That's good. Yeah.
It's a different color than I've seen on these beers.
Okay.
It's a lot lighter and dare I say slightly more appealing than dirty dishwater beers.
Yeah.
Right. There's not as much hop particulate floating in it.
I don't think there's any hop particulate at all. Tell us about it, Frank.
Smells great.
Yeah, well, Nick will tell you the super duper details, but in terms of the overarching kind of style of what we call a foggy IPA.
Foggy, yeah, I like it.
So we call all of our hazy beers foggy.
I like it
because they capture the terroir of Santa Cruz.
For sure.
My favorite part about
wall
Santa Cruz. Fog as you're coming over the hill. You're like, it's 85 degrees in Los Gatos. Wow, it's 56 degrees. I'm freezing. I hate this place.
Yeah.
56 and hazy.
Yeah.
56
Santa Cruz.
Yeah. So. Definitely visually we go for super light beers for the most part when it comes to our foggy beers. But another thing you mentioned is hop particulate.
Mm-hmm.
So we go for pretty clean. We're known for our foggy IPAs, but they're pretty clean. We give them enough time to drop out, and there's definitely none of that hop burn. But also they're finishing relatively dry. This thing compared to a lot of the New England styles, proper New England, this thing's finishing a lot drier, and that's kind of our jam to get some juice and some dryness.
Okay.
Because this is the West Coast after all.
Yeah. What's it finishing at, Nick?
Well, this beer, there is a pinch of lactose. So this probably, I'm trying to look at the notes here, see what it actually did finish at, but I'm guessing 3 to 4.
Okay.
Most of our foggies are kind of in the 2.5 to 3 Plato range.
So what is in it? You guys know this better than I do. If you're saying that you're giving it time to drop out, there's not like hop particulate. What is the haze? Talk to me like I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I mean it's
not though.
Is it protein? Is it like what's the haze?
Yeah, I mean it's everything. So we use. We're pretty heavy on the oat flakes. I think oat flakes more than kind of anything else add a lot more haze.
Okay.
And then we double dry hop just about everything, so that biotransformation, a lot of it's hop particulate, polyphenols, and but yeah, I mean a lot of it's proteins for sure.
Are there hops in the kettle also?
Yeah, we usually do 100% kind of low temp whirlpool.
Okay,
especially on these beers, depending on the style. West Coast will kind of do like a higher temp whirlpool.
Okay.
Sometimes a small bittering charge.
What about this one? Is there anything at 60 minutes on this beer?
No.
Not a thing?
No.
You don't touch it with hops until the whirlpool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Low temp whirlpool, yeah.
And when you say low temp, what do you mean?
We kind of change it per hop varietal, but usually it's like the 160 to 170 range. Yeah.
So you wait for it to cool a little bit?
Yep.
Are you actually running through the heat exchanger then to cool it down?
And so, have you just learned that certain hop varieties will do better at different temperatures?
Yeah, it's been a lot of trial and error.
What?
Yeah,
like what do you?
Error.
What do you avoid? yeah. Well, so like, what do you avoid? Like, what has happened that you went, oh, if we do this hop at a lower temperature in the whirlpool, we don't get this flavor?
Yeah,
like,
we just get some like unpleasant sharpness.
I see. Okay.
I mean, most hop varieties don't do that, but there's a couple that kind of stick out that we like specifically target a lower, like 150 even, or even lower. We've experimented with lower, which gets a little sketchy.
Okay, because you're worried that it'll get infected or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see. It's funny. I'm glad you mentioned this. We were talking before the show about a beer that I'm not going to mention the brewery or anything, but that had these kind of like harsh note. We were talking about it as a very prickly, like hop character. Yeah. It had. I think Teresa, you were kind of pinpointing that it sort of had no mid range. It was just like harsh here.
It's like a xylophone that someone was just banging on the high note and nothing down.
Yeah.
At the lower note.
Right, and then we were just kind of trying to speculate like how that might have happened because we know the hops that were being used. There was like we all liked the hop varieties, but they had these kind of harsh notes.
Yeah. I'm really curious about the lactose addition because I think it does a really good job of covering up some of that hop bite that you can get in the hazy IPAs.
Definitely.
But
and
it
also
doesn't
adding a
taste
creaminess.
Milky. It doesn't taste like heavy or...
I get a little creaminess that is not characteristic in the typical hazy IPA.
I'm with you on that.
But it's not enough to where I'd be like, oh, there's definitely lactose in this thing. It's like, oh, this is a really interesting way to kind of cover up some of that and round out the finish. And,
it is much softer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this one's kind of a smaller amount where it's meant to kind of do that. Where if you weren't told there's lactose in it, you probably wouldn't pick it up. But it's just a little softer and rounder.
Do you do that in all of your foggy beers?
In terms of lactose?
Yes.
No, definitely not.
Oh, okay.
98% of them don't have lactose.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just wanted this one to be more.
Yeah, I mean, we
smooth.
experiment, a little bit here and there, and a lot of East Coast kind of hazy beers we have, a lot of them use lactose back there, which is kind of a different, flavor. East Coast, everybody likes sweet stuff.
Yeah.
Out here, everybody likes kind of dry stuff.
Yeah.
So we've experimented and when we go a little heavier on the lactose, people don't really enjoy them out here as much as they do back east.
Yeah.
So we've kind of settled in this little kind of subtle amount, and we just do it here and there. We don't do it all the time.
Okay.
Is it hop derivative? Like certain hops in a certain beer, then you go, okay, let's do a little lactose in it, or what is that marker for when you would add it in?
Yeah, I mean it's not really hop derived. It's just kind of what outcome and mouthfeel we want to.
Okay, so
target.
It's just a thing in your toolbox to be like, this is the end result.
Yeah,
for this beer, for some reason, I want this to have a little.
Let's do a little softer, creamier beer this time. I mean, we do a milkshake and we do way more because we want to emphasize that. But
yeah. Why not nitrogenate?
It's grandma, isn't it? You have a phone in the brewery.
Exactly.
It's a green phone, and grandma calls and goes, Lactose now.
Oh shit!
It's green too.
And you're just like, yes, Grandma. I'm so sorry.
And then the phone goes, oh, I'm sorry. She's we're taking her back to it's Monopoly night, so I apologize about that.
Yeah.
Won't happen again.
We don't let her run the lobby.
But lactose.
More lactose.
Yeah, more lactose. I'm not lactose intolerant anymore.
Came out.
That's a nice beer, and I'm going to say it for him. I think JP fucking likes it. I think he likes the beer. He's not going to tell you that, but I think he's enjoying it. I think he's finding it appealing.
Which part's true? That you won't tell them that?
Yes, true.
Yeah. Let me do this. I got to get us to a break.
Okay.
That way you don't have to say whether you like it or not, JP.
Oh, man, I was going to.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got more beer to try, and I've got more. I want to learn more about this story too, in the brewing in the woods at Grandma's house.
The brewing in the
before
woods.
becoming a real boy, a real brewery.
A real boy.
Hang in there. It's The Session, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Tyler from Libertine Brewing Company in the Central Coast of California. You're listening to Brewing Network, The Session. It sucks. Does it suck? It sucks. But that's what's good about it, is that it sucks, right?
Welcome back to The Session. Thanks for hanging out with us. My hangover might be going away.
Oh, there we go, dude.
Beer will do that.
I've been drinking it away, for sure.
Yeah.
Hangover shows go... There's no in between.
Yeah, one of two ways.
They're either awful for both you and me, by the way, as my guests, just so you know, or they totally turn around and they're great, and I feel better, and I'm having fun, and I have some beer, and that's how this one is going. I'm enjoying you guys. Also, you have that. You guys have that
obligatory compliment right there.
Right. No. You guys have that Santa Cruz like laid back. Usually, it's my job to make the guest feel comfortable. It's going the reverse this time.
Yeah, it definitely
you guys
depends
are
on the
making
guest,
me
for
feel
sure.
comfortable.
Yeah, like if they were kind of shut down and introverted, and you were,
then I'd just be hungover and a dick,
miserable. You're like, God, can you just give me something, please?
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, great beer, fuck off, time to go.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real short show. Actually, we missed it.
Yeah, but you guys are making me feel comfortable in my own studio. You're very, very Santa Cruz of you.
Is that what I do, Justin? Because I was born and raised Santa
I know,
Cruz.
but you're like, you're the opposite of that.
I was there for 20 years.
I know, but you're like Poison Oak.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah,
everyone's favorite plant.
That's right.
Everyone's favorite.
Everybody's always looking for it.
Always on the lookout.
Yeah. When I was at Boy Scout camp, my troop leader told me specifically that's called the cuddle plant.
Yeah, exactly.
And I should go cuddle with it. And,
No, this is why your wife is taking you to Alaska to murder you.
Because I'm cool?
The bears will do that.
Because you're awful.
Oh.
Yeah.
You tell me this now before I'm about to leave instead of when I booked the trip.
I know. I can't wait until you're gone.
That's 100% true.
Frank is gonna be. He's gonna take your spot. Frank
Frank's
is
Scott
gonna.
Kruger.
Yeah, Frank.
Okay.
He's got three names and a great personality. What do you have?
I'm from Santa Cruz?
No, you have a beard. That's it.
Well,
the only reson you're even
Spectacular
here.
beard.
once you get off the plane in Alaska, you're about to have a salmon head necklace when you go camping.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
To get the bears after you're sent to kill you.
Oh, I did watch a documentary where they just eat the salmon jumping out of the river.
JP knows this.
Yeah, I don't think they want the dead, decomposing salmon around his neck.
Damn it.
We are still here with Humble Sea Brewing Company. Of course, you can go to humblesea.com.
You can find a picture of Taylor on there.
Check out. Yeah, you can. Oh, is there? Let's see.
In the blog. Go to the blog.
Pasuti, you want me to find you a picture of Taylor?
Yeah.
would you please?
Let's find a photo of Taylor. There used to be one on our homepage.
Don't project that on her.
Stacy, who's my new boss of marketing, she told us to take it down.
There's nothing. You don't even have an about page with like the three of you on there.
Go
blog
all the way to the bottom.
JP already found one. Is that how you know? I see.
So I have a couple of good-looking
Oh,
guys.
fuck that guy.
Yeah, right? He's holding a dog.
His teeth are blinding.
He's saving children right now.
I can't see him, but his teeth are blinding.
He has perfect smiley teeth, and he's holding a puppy.
He's only So we call Taylor clickbait. Like whenever we whenever we need like something to get out there and just get out there, 100-fold. And just use the internet for what it is.
That's very sexist.
You put
Taylor,
on there.
hold this thing.
Yeah.
And shut up.
He's going to have a beer influencer account on Instagram.
Yeah,
he probably has
Taylor, dog, full pint of beer, smile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
He probably has more followers than the BN.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been. I have a couple guys, pretty good looking guys that work for me in the brewery, and our social media person keeps having them take their shirts off.
Oh,
and
wow.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they're smart.
Not even being humble about it. Not subtle.
Objectifying the dudes big time.
Yeah.
There was another one today, and I was kind of
Anything for that like.
I'm thinking we're overdoing this a little.
And they're like, no, you got to overdo everything now.
You should find a picture of Taylor
We got
on
the
the
women
beach.
in leadership. And
Where am I going to find a picture of Taylor on the beach?
I just followed Crooked Lane.
What Bevo just signed up? Yeah.
What does OSHA think about shirtless brewery days?
Double follow.
I don't know where you're gonna find.
So there's a lot of dumb stories on that blog as well. We kind of documented the first couple of years, and then we just put it away because we were really trying to get off the ground.
Okay.
And we just kind of relaunched the thing with 2 posts.
The blog, you mean?
The blog. But there's some dumb shit on that blog.
Is there?
Yeah, anytime you feel like a good laugh.
That's okay. That's kind of how we do things. You should listen to the first 5 years of the Brewing Network, for example.
No,
we're in year 4, right?
There's some dumb shit.
Yeah. What I do like about their site is there's swears. I mean, they have little asterisks in there, right, to like block it out. But,
yeah, there's a bit of cursing.
Yeah, and if you wait, there's a pop-up that says, hey, you want some shit? Like some informational shit or whatever it is. Like it's very, like you said, kind of very Santa Cruz, very chilled out.
Yeah.
Because some breweries can really just get very polo shirt,
especially
with a
now.
collar attitude to it, and it's not.
Everyone's all nervous about it now.
Yeah.
It's kind of how the Brewing Network is seen by like super professionals in the industry. I had heard a rumor once the Brewing Network was talked about at a Brewers Association board meeting, and at the time we were selling more homebrewer memberships to the AHA than like all entities combined, right?
Yeah.
And someone was delivering this report, and then somebody, I'm not going to say who, but somebody who's probably one of the most significant people in the craft beer industry was on the board at the time, and he was like, yeah, but is that who we really want, like, representing beer and craft beer? And this friend who was there, who told me about it, the friend, he was like, they were like, absolutely, they're a little crass, but like they get it. Yes, it is. And this person, very significant person, was like, all right, I guess.
Oh, you mean the same group that dominated your competition for 10 years?
Yeah, exactly.
We are the Alex Jones of homebrew radio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all just an act.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a very carefully curated act. Actually,
right. 4D chess.
Some of the people at the BA think that I do very carefully curate all of our mistakes and our fucking accidents and my awful. And I'm like, yeah, totally. Yeah. It's very well planned. That's what happens.
Keeping it real.
Yeah.
Checkmate, Gary Glass.
Well, speaking of planning, I want to give the name of the beer that's in my glass and then talk to you about how you guys get the names of your beers. Because I think the first beer I have is called Gil Murray, which is a great name. Obviously, you guys like ocean puns. Is what's happening here, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, definitely ocean-oriented. Part of my family grew up in not Chicago. Well, yeah, okay. Part of my family grew up in Hawaii.
Okay.
And I was in Hawaii like 2.5 years ago, and I had like kind of a mental breakdown because I was drinking a Kona longboard lager.
Okay.
And I was like, "Fuck." I'm like, and I love Kona and I love Maui. I was like, we're not going to be the next that brewery. We're not going to be the next longboard lager brewery. There's so many of them. There's so many that have like tried to do like the cute touristy surf culture.
I see. Okay.
And
this was your mental breakdown, is that you were worried you were going to try to go down this path?
Yeah. So
okay.
so our naming structure is essentially funneling into one direction, a couple directions. The main one is is making fun of the people that visit Santa Cruz.
Okay, I like this.
So Santa Cruz is a tourist town.
So you, Justin.
JP,
right, exactly what he's saying.
Tell me that this is not on the way to being your favorite brewery ever.
Yeah.
Already. Okay, so this is path 1.
So it's tourist town. So like some of our beers that are popular are directly making fun of that culture.
Mm-hmm.
However, that culture is what feeds us. That's like the biggest part of Santa Cruz economy and also of our economy. And so like Socks and Sandals is a beer that we brew constantly, and it's just like, hey man, a lot of people are wearing socks and sandals in this brewery right now.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I saw that beer name and I was like, wait, they don't think socks and sandals are acceptable, right? So it's making
acceptable.
fun. Yeah. I also saw this. I also saw another one that I just have to bring it up that I loved. It called Vice Vice Baby.
Yeah. That's
great name. But okay, all right. So you're making fun of some of the people that come to Socks and Sandals.
Segway Tour, like beer names like that. It's like, what the hell is
Segway
Tour? What is happening 2 blocks away from the front door of our brewery?
Yeah.
And then they Segway Tour right up to the front door. They they buy a couple $100 worth of beer, and we're like, we fucking love these people.
Can I just have the job that you basically you go a block away from the brewery, you sit in a lawn chair, and you observe all day and do what JP does, which is just write all the awful things that come to his head about the people passing by.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to be one of those lunatics that you only see like in like the TV show trope, like weird introverted neighbor who has notebooks full of what happens outside.
Yeah.
It's going to be me.
I
If you
love
go to the
this.
boardwalk or the wharf, Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk or the wharf in Santa Cruz, you're going to see like 90% of our beer names out there.
Yeah, we've actually talked about doing this, like having
is that how
a
you
company day where we go sit at your favorite beach, the Boardwalk Beach, and we just sit out there and think of all these beer names.
You guys should, I'm just going to say, this is an idea that's a good one. You should make it a company outing and where you just sit around making fun of people all fucking day. I bet you come up with some great ideas.
God, that is so on brand for Humble C.
Yeah, right.
Nailed it.
No, yours that would be like the counteraction to your do-gooding, just like do
Yes.
Exactly. Like we're also shitty.
secretly, secretly very evil.
Yeah. Do good.
Don't wear company branded clothing.
Humble C. Do good and degrade. That's how we roll.
Yeah. Give back and take from people's egos.
Yeah. So, okay.
I never
so
answered
part
your
of this
question,
is,
by the way. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. But so part of your deal then is observing your community and your patrons who are tourists. Okay. This is like path number 1.
Tourists and locals, for sure. There's a ton of regulars, locals, that whole thing. And so they get the puns, too. They're loving it. All the kook stuff, like that whole thing, like they're digging it.
Yeah.
But, after the first year of 120 names in the first year, I was fucking over it.
Tapped out.
I was just like, no, this is like way too much. And it's also not scalable. It's just not sustainable. It's taking a lot of time from my day. So I created a system. We do our company communication on Slack, of course, like some Silicon Valley nerds.
Yep.
And we have a Slack channel called Beer Names, and everybody in the company and some random people who are just pretty creative have access to this channel.
Nice.
And when they're working, when they're out drinking, when they're drinking a beer at somebody else's establishment, whatever, in any given moment, they're throwing out beer names all the time. And if something's working, people are like kind of emojiing it up, like, oh, double shaka for that one.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of see what's working in our internal community.
Okay.
But what it does is it like, I'm not really a big fan of like creativity like on the spot. Like sit there and like think of a name.
Go. Yeah.
We just brewed an IPA. Go.
Yeah.
So like you just come up with shitty forced names that way.
Yeah.
So I come through, me and Stacy, who's in marketing with me. Well, she leads marketing now. Mm-hmm. We go through like once a week. We comb through the channel, pick out all the good ones. We put into a big spreadsheet, and we have lists of like foggy IPAs, imperial stouts, pilsners, and we just this whole thing. And so then when the brewers hit me up and they're like, hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Frank, I'm packaging this beer right now. What's the name?
I like that all of your brewers are New Jersey brewers.
That's how Santa Cruzians talk.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, Frankie.
Hey, we got this fucking beer coming down the line,
What's the fucking name, man? I'm writing it down the color right now.
Fucking brewing here.
Hurry up, I'm trying to get my dick sucked on a little bit. Let's go. Frank, I got this hot number.
It's going to be done fermenting in 17 seconds. Frank, go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I can I'm like,
What
fuck
just
you.
happened?
And then I just jump in. Yeah, I don't know how that didn't get, like, how is this live?
So you okay.
It's not.
I like the fact that you're coming up with names just on an ongoing basis rather than like waiting for the beer. But then it also, if I'm hearing you right, it sounds like as this is happening, you also then kind of categorize these names so that whatever beer you guys might make, you're like, oh shit, okay, we're in the foggy territory.
Exactly.
Or Nick's got a new lager, and you go to the lager category.
Yep.
And you might have 10 or 15 names already there.
Yeah, exactly.
This is brilliant. And I mean that because it's so, well, like you said, after 120, you're already tapped out.
Yeah.
I have done the naming process even recently with some collab beers, and you got to Google every single one, and they're all taken.
Yeah.
They're all fucking taken, right?
Yeah.
So every time you're like, even when it's like named after my logo, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Taken, you know? So having this pool is very effective.
A nice kind of touristy pun right there.
Having this pool, yeah.
Hotel pool, oceanside pool.
Yeah, put that in your category. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've got pool party. We've got a bunch of weird stuff. Pool snorkeler. Yeah, we've got.
Nice. Yeah.
We've gone across the board.
Yeah. I think that this other breweries should listen to this, and maybe they do. Maybe breweries are now always thinking names because it's so difficult. What do you think, Pasuti? Are you guys like always thinking of names?
I am chief namer.
Yeah.
Of beers.
So you'll just be driving along and like you'll write down every name that comes to your head, right?
I write down a lot of names, and when I think of one that's really good, I'm just like, damn, that's going to be a good beer. It's going to be a good label, and I will like.
Microphone yourself for me, will you?
I will.
Sorry, yeah.
You'd think I'd have this
I
down
know
by now.
it's time that you haven't gotten yelled at in a while.
I don't have my headphones.
Yep. My fault.
Yeah, I kind of work into a good name.
Yeah.
I have a couple of good names on the line.
Just waiting.
In
the queue.
Oh. In the queue.
Yeah.
Exactly. But my names are kind of like I take a semi-religious reference and like turn it upside down, make it kind of like
crude. Yeah, all right. I like it.
I go to Seinfeld and I pull something in and
nice.
I don't know.
I think it used to be the reason I like this.
I was just trying to joke about. I don't really have like a solid process either.
Yeah.
But now maybe take some cues from this, like as things come up, because I think it used to be
this Slack thing, pulling in the staff. I mean, I would love to involve more people. I just want to have. Like we gotta up our game because sometimes we'll put a bunch of names on there and I'm like suck. I'm like I don't want to throw down everyone's.
You have to allow that, right? Because otherwise people are afraid to even come up with a name, and you need, I think, people to be able to just throw out every dumb thing ever.
Yeah.
JP and I, we would do this sometimes when we were coming up with game names or whatever. We're just like, don't worry if you sound or look like an idiot. Just say the things, do the things, and then it's the only way some of it's going to stick.
You have to.
Yeah, actually, initially, that's a good point you bring up. Like, our Slack channel initially was just filled with shitty names.
Yeah.
And I was just sort of betting on it sort of figuring itself out.
Correcting,
and
like people
community sort of
focus.
and through like kind of people upvoting, and then me also like them seeing what I'm choosing for the names. Like it ultimately goes through me because I kind of am like the final filter for the brand.
Right.
Everyone's sort of filtered themselves, and the name quality right now, I would say 4 to 5 names thrown up in Slack. Not only are they not taken, but they're fucking good.
Yeah.
Well, for us, right? Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. They're just okay.
We weren't going to say anything.
You know. I mean, Gil Murray, guys. That's just a great name. I really like it.
I love Gil Murray.
Yeah, me too.
Big time.
And with Slack, you don't have to tell people their idea is terrible to their face.
Exactly.
You can just ignore it.
Yeah, you just ignore it. It just disappears into the mix.
Well, the community didn't Shaka it, dude, so I don't know.
Not enough Shaka.
Yeah.
Shaka Narnar.
I loved it personally, but
but nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I think it used to be that you made a beer and then you came up with a name because there weren't over 4,000 craft breweries in the country. So
I think it's
it's ridiculous.
Christ,
just double that one.
I don't even pay attention anymore.
When's that bell curve going to reverse?
I think it's,
so you just did what you did, right? And you came up with a name, and like you were going to be the first one with a name. And now I feel like I like your process. It's a bit the reverse. Come up with a whole shitload of names first, and then plug in a beer later.
How about Humble Sea Pale Ale? No one has that.
Ooh, nice.
They might actually.
Right?
Nice.
Because all the tourists are extra pale coming over to Santa Cruz.
Yeah, we did do a beer named Pale AF for that reason. Yeah.
Oh, so
there you go.
Pale AF. Pale Ale.
I'm going to actually look up Humble Sea Pale Ale because I think there's just as much chance that it does exist that it doesn't.
Right,
you know what I mean?
50-50.
It's going to be falsely checked in under our name, I bet. Like, just people, random.
Drunk, untapped people don't pay attention.
No, they don't.
Well, I'm not seeing it in the first page.
Doesn't
so maybe
exist
not.
at that point.
Okay. Frothy grommet. Humble Sea Frothy grommet.
You guys are talking.
How did that come up?
Yeah, do you guys understand that one?
No, I don't even understand that one.
Okay, so
I know what a grommet is.
Yeah.
Okay. What about a frothy one?
No.
Well, explain what a grommet is, if you will.
So the grommet, in my mind, is the thing on the edge of a tarp.
No.
That's the origin of the word.
That is a grommet.
Yeah, it is.
That's a grommet,
That is
yes.
technically a grommet.
Yes.
Is it the grommet from Wallace and Gromit, but rabid?
I don't know.
Yeah, because it's the dog.
What is a
So
frothy?
obviously I did not get the grommet. So.
Yeah, that's not a...
So what's a frothy?
Are you
grommet?
allowed
What's
to
a
say?
grommet?
So a grommet is kind of long for a grom.
Grom,
which is
yes. Okay, I know what grommet
an
is.
underage surf
Yeah.
person that is pretty good at surfing.
Okay.
Okay.
Frothy, I mean, can be taken a few different ways.
Yeah.
I see.
Underage surf punk.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a frothy wave, or you can have a frothy beer.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was
Frank
a brewed
probably-
IPA.
Was it a brewed IPA?
Yeah,
Okay,
and so it's frothy. There's these terms, though. There's this term that I heard one time that was stuck. It just burned a hole in my brain for the rest of my life. There were a bunch of little groms out, little surfers out at a popular surf spot on the east side. And I heard these guys checking the waves, and they were like having a great day, right? These little kids. And they go, "Huh, get this, dude. The groms are frothing right now."
Wow.
Because they have
heard that, and I
rabies.
was like, okay, that's I can never forget that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Groms
it
are
just kind of
frothing
came up
right now.
years later.
Love it.
There was a rabies outbreak amongst all those surfer kids.
Yeah. Cuttlefish. You had a cuttlefish beer.
Yeah.
With
Good name.
D's, right? Not like Cuttle, but Cuddle. Cause
Cuttle.
D's, yeah.
D's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn,
Cuddle.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I'm just
Cuddling's
looking.
Thank God. Cuddling's tight.
Cuddling's tight.
What the fuck is this one? Ventana Spruce Pale Ale Scoop Neck?
That's a t-shirt.
I was just a.
That's a t-shirt.
That's actually a piece of clothing.
Gil Murray Racerback? I don't understand.
It's funny because it says Humble Sea.
What is going on?
Ventana Spruce Pale Ale Scoop Neck.
How many stars did it have on Untapped?
Yeah. 100.
What didn't scoop enough for me? 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Well, after all that, tell us about the Gil Murray beer, would you please, Nick?
We had 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You're right.
Get back on track.
Yeah,
You were still drinking Gil Murray, huh?
I am. I got a full pint of it. That's why, or full glass anyway.
So yeah, this one's a little orangier, I guess, than the swordfish. We use, we play around with a lot of different base malts. Sometimes we just totally target that low color. Sometimes we kind of go for costs.
Mm-hmm.
We use a lot of raw 2-row, but we blend in some other stuff here and there. This one's raw 2-row, Wireman Extra Pale Pilsner.
Okay.
Oat flakes and oat malt, no lactose. Sometimes, I make the brew schedule. I know our tap room. We have to make way more foggy IPAs than I think as a normal brewer would need to make. So.
I see, yeah.
Okay, cool. Fuck, I have to come up with another goddamn foggy IPA recipe.
Sure.
Okay.
That must get difficult, actually.
Yeah.
Forget names.
Yeah,
We're talking about names this whole time. Nick's like, fuck you, guy. Name's nothing.
Exactly.
Try making another fucking beer.
Well, let's make a good beer first.
Yeah.
Another foggy malt bill.
Yeah.
One more.
Yeah, exactly. So hops are kind of difficult sometimes, obviously, because 90% of our beer are hoppy beers, and I've used every combination and
So, can you reveal what the hops are in this beer? 'Cause I have them in my mind, and I just want to really want to know if I'm right.
Yep.
But
Wait.
This is the danger.
Teresa first.
Okay, I can
Take
write it
this
down.
notepad and write down what you think they are before Nick answers. We're going to see how Pasudi does.
Probably going to be wrong.
In the guess this, and while she's doing that, I'll just take a quick segue. This beer is like dank as fuck, right? Like that's I don't usually use that descriptor, but this one is just plain dank.
That's exactly the direction we were going with this
Okay. Both in the aroma and the flavor, they follow suit.
Yep.
I mean, I just can't think of another descriptor as common as that one is than dank.
Yeah. So that was exactly the direction of this beer.
Have you written them down? Oh, Teresa's still thinking. Okay.
Okay. Here's my guess.
All right. I'm gonna give me.
Wrong,
let's see.
I just really want to. I really want to know.
So
I got anything.
she has picked 3 hops.
Okay.
How many are in it?
Probably a good start.
Let's see. There's actually probably close to 5 in this one.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. Doesn't make her wrong.
Well,
let's see how.
It just makes her incomplete.
Yeah, it doesn't make her right.
Now
Yeah.
It's likely that I'm wrong.
You think?
Well, you have 5 chances.
Come on.
You know.
I mean,
there's 5 in this one.
I think your guesses are pretty good. One of these that you chose is fairly unique, so you're really calling that one out, which we'll get to. All right, go ahead, Nick, please.
So the direction of this beer. So sometimes, like I was saying, I was like, "Fuck, I gotta come up with another foggy IPA recipe." A lot of times I'll look at our hop inventory. Obviously, makes sense. What do we have a lot of? Cool. Maybe. Oh, cool. Cascade. That's cool. We have a lot of that one. Why do we have a lot of that? Okay.
You guys too?
Centennial. I like that hop, but nobody else does. Okay. So sometimes we are forced to use hops, but sometimes, I try to make them make sense. Sometimes we stumble upon really awesome combinations. So this was kind of in that direction. So this is actually Cascade in the Whirlpool.
Hurry up, Beardy. Hang on.
I had that one on here.
Beardy's writing. We'll give you that one, Beardy.
Okay.
Which creates this like really awesome kind of dank fruit base.
Hang on. Don't give another one yet until Beardy's done. And it could take him a day. So...
Yeah, I only have to write one. Can I go to 5 then? I mean, Teresa only wrote 3.
No, pick 3.
Okay.
Already, it's overcomplicated.
Just pick 3.
Already, Warren is overcomplicated.
I finished already. Why are you still talking about it?
How do you spell cashmere?
Oh, he chose Cascade. Dickhead.
Nice.
Okay, go ahead.
First dry hop is Hallertau Blanc and Mosaic.
Hallertau Blanc, I get that.
So I picked Simcoe, which has some characteristics it shares with Mosaic.
See, I was thinking so Pasuti also picked Equinaut, and I think I thought that was your Mosaic double. Was you Pasuti picked Equinaut, Simcoe, and Columbus. Columbus, fair enough. It's in the Cascade fucking C family.
It's danky.
We just give that.
Which we use a lot
That's
in our
a gimme.
Yeah.
Beardy went Columbus, Cascade, Amarillo.
My 4th one, I was torn between Centennial or Mosaic. I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Give us the full hop
second
list
dry
again.
Hop, there is Almarillo.
Okay. All right.
Eureka and a touch more Blanc.
Okay.
So 0 for
0.
anything.
I know. I know, Pasuti. 0.
I know.
Oh, how many did I get?
It's a good thing you give me a
it's been
test
nice
before I
having
came
you
on here.
host the show with us, Teresa. We'll see you, maybe.
I'll miss you.
Yeah.
Push your chair back slightly just so you're over the trap door. So it doesn't, you don't hit your head on the way out.
Because we care.
Truck comes and takes me.
Yeah, we don't want to injure you. I think Equinaut is such a specific hop, Teresa, that's the one that stands out to me that you chose that one, because that one is, kind of unique and specific. But I think, again, that's a Mosaic right there,
Maybe. I cannot, take any credit for getting all the wrong answers, other than saying
what about
it's completely wrong.
Okay, what about this, though? Of that hop bill, the one that stands out to me is Hallertau. Of all of these,
Blanc.
Yeah,
Blanc.
It's a little grapey.
Different. Okay. Because I was thinking
IPAs,
that's that white grapey kind of thing.
Yeah, I see.
It's
white wine
cool in this usage.
Yeah, you get in subtle amounts. You get this pretty radical little dank fruit thing going on.
Okay.
This is what we
That's
did
super cool.
in our Vienna Lager.
Oh, we did.
Yes.
Hallertau Blanc.
Got
Really?
it. Okay. Because I was thinking with all these kind of very bold Pacific Northwest hops, but I wasn't thinking Hallertau Blanc. I was thinking Hallertau. So,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a great beer.
Yeah.
And
Super awesome.
it should have just been called Dank AF. I think, which is probably clearly taken 100 times over, right?
Oh, yeah.
But if you were going for dank, you nailed it, right? I really don't have another descriptor to give it other than talking about the hops, because all of those do stand out, I think.
So maybe you need a beer named Dank Scott Kruger.
Oh.
would be so appropriate for a co-founder of Humble C to name a beer after his own
It
name.
really would. Some's going to get a Slack invite if she's
Exactly.
not, if she's not careful.
Sounds like Teresa just got invited to a Slack channel.
You don't think I would rob some good names there.
If you're into making fun
not,
of tourists and
fish.
sea puns.
Oh my god, I love me some good puns. I'm all
Okay.
about fun.
And then since we're on names, the next beer in our glass might have the best name of the day.
Oh, it's called Jason Petros.
Second best.
Damn. Okay.
It tastes terrible.
Oh, damn.
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal. All right.
Steven Seagal. You gotta say it almost like the actor's name though, right? You gotta go Steven Seagal.
Wait,
Jonathan
who?
Have you seen the can for it?
No.
Just
Did you
Google it
send
real
us a
quick.
picture? Okay.
Just Google it because it's the most ridiculous. I think it's one of the most ridiculous cans we've put out.
Okay. Who designs your cans?
So initially, I did
Steven
all the
Seagal,
design,
actually.
and then I brought in one of my designers. He cranks out the illustration. I do the art direction, and that's part of our naming too. Is the stuff that we put into cans. I'm going to give it a name that actually makes sense for artwork. And so if you put in, I don't know, no, not that one.
Not that one.
Put in Steven Seagal, Humble C.
Stop telling me what to do.
I'm going to look it up right now.
Not that.
Okay.
There it is.
Where?
Fifth. Keep going right. Nope. Left. There.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, gross.
Oh, I see right there, yeah.
It's so gross.
Wow.
It's got Steven Seagal as his head on a seagull.
It actually looks like Rocky Dennis from Mask combined with Elvis.
Yes, yeah. Dead Elvis.
Well,
clearly.
sure, yeah.
I think gross is a good way to describe that. Yeah, that's
My mom says I kind of look like a lion. Huh.
If you're listening to this podcast right now and you have a computer or a phone available, just do search Steven Seagal, Humble C, and then there's a good one with a can, the full can, and the glass next to it, and that's a great label. You can tell I'm old. Like, there's probably a bunch of people listening right now. They're like, "Who's Steven Seagal?"
Right? Wasn't he a president or something?
Bevo, do you know who Steven Seagal is? Okay. Probably
She's
only...
married to Sam. Right.
She's like, actually, Sam had a Steven Seagal marathon yesterday. Yeah.
Steven Seagal's a sheriff.
Yeah.
He is.
Officer Seagal.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you
He's a
guys,
first responder.
Whatever your naming scheme is, which we obviously have covered in detail, is working.
It's
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you this much. It's less work for me.
Yeah. Yeah. All
Which
right.
is always good.
Crowdsourcing.
I mean, that's the goal of pretty much everything, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've just tasted the Steven Seagal.
Yeah. You tasted Steven?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For the first time.
I just put a little Steven in my mouth.
Yeah. All right. Let him sit there.
I do want to point out that we've had 3 hazy beers and a pilsner tonight. And
Foggy beers.
Foggy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
We don't make hazy beers.
They're unique. They're uniquely different from each other. This one has like a strong tropical pineapple. The last one was dank. The one before that had the bit of lactose sweetness and drier. In other words, sometimes these idiots on the show just complain about how all hazy beers are the same.
Oh, they're terrible.
And I think
right. They share that in common.
Or
Yeah. All hazy beers are the same.
well, they're not saying if they're good or not. They're just,
Right.
but that they're all the same. And the 3 of yours are very, very different from each other. Don't you think? They're quite unique. It's not
once
just
again,
like
we don't make hazy beers. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So all your hazy beers-
I'm
that we
leaving.
can't see
God,
through.
thank you
Come
for
on.
clarifying twice, Nick.
Yeah.
It's fair to say that your hazy beers
he doesn't like
suck.
hazy beers. He likes,
Right?
he likes foggy beers.
He does like foggy
but their
beer.
foggy beers are great. Their
Okay.
hazy
Yeah.
beers suck ass.
I
dude.
see.
They taste
All
like
right.
shit.
I love the fog.
Now
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Do you also have a name for, instead of juicy, it's like squeezy?
Ooh.
Squeezy.
Like we make foggy squeezy beers.
It sounds like an
Every
HR
time
problem.
we actually use the word juice, we spell it J00SE. So yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Isn't that a that was a brand of energy drink? I thought, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think-
actually,
yeah.
yeah.
Right.
For people even douchier than us.
Oh, like JP.
Yeah. Hey, look, that was my big bet, and then I put everything I had into that company, invested.
And it didn't work.
No. Now I'm in Bitcoin.
That's because you thought it was led by OJ.
It's true.
You were all behind him.
I did. I'm ready.
Tell us about
Come on,
this beer.
Juice.
So yeah, back to our kind of evolving malt bill. This is actually extra pale Maris Otter, heavily white wheat, like probably 30 to 40%, and just a pinch of rye flakes.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to guess the hops pursuit?
No, thank you, but I do not.
Cashmere, Idaho 7, and
Lot 759, Hill 8,
and Pride of Ringworm.
Yeah,
you actually got the first one.
Wow, Cashmere.
Yeah,
Cashmere.
So yes, this is Eldorado on the Whirlpool, dry hopped. First Eldorado, Cashmere. Second, Enigma.
That's what I was going to say, too.
Enigma is tricky.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Enigma, but
Love
when
that
it's
band.
like barely used, I think it comes out nice. So that's why I wanted to just kind of touch on this one on the second dry hop.
Okay.
So let the record show, I guessed 2. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, the second one you said like a split second after he said
No,
it.
same time. Same time. I was farther away from my microphone, but at the same time.
This one to me is like super orange. Like, tons of orange, tons of tropical.
Yeah, I get,
almost like
I get tons of pineapple.
Like dried orange peel. There's like a dried orange, like a sweet orange peel that you would make. You buy from like More Beer if you're making a wit beer or whatever.
Yeah.
There's like that kind of sort of thing subtly in the back there.
Yeah. But it's all from the hops.
Yeah, I mean, this one's I don't know what the ABV on this thing is, but the finishing gravity is a little bit higher, so you get a little bit of that residual.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, along with the fruitiness of the hops.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, for some reason, the rye came across in the finish. When I first tasted it, the rye came across not just as like a little peppery complexity in the end. Like, it almost came across as like smoky phenol to me. And so I was like, am I having a stroke? Or is this like a smoked hazy IPA, foggy IPA?
Both. Yeah.
See?
Foggy.
It's hard, isn't
foggy,
it?
Yes. It's foggy squeezy. This is has a very squeezy aroma to it.
This one is squeezy.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to use that.
You should switch to squeezy.
Yeah.
I'm going to credit you with nothing.
Please don't. Yeah. I just
Story of our life, Frank.
I just want 10%. I just want 10% of all the. Imagine if we could collect 5% off the top from every brewery
who's open after listening to us.
Yeah. And directly credits us for their opening.
We would make at least $100.
Yeah, minimum.
I think
maximum.
Yeah. You should use Squeezy Juicy.
Please Squeezy. I think
Squeezy Juicy.
Squeezy Foggy IPA. I mean, shit. Done.
Yeah, that was easy.
I hope it becomes a separate category.
Squeezy IPA.
From hazy bullshit.
What a great fucking joke that would be. From the guy most vocal about it. If it became a style and we would just play along like it never happened.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it.
Well, I've had brewers call me in different areas of the country and ask if they can use the term foggy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Royalty.
So they hit me up. They're like, hey, I really think it captures what we're doing. I'm also, I totally identify with the West Coast and this whole thing.
And where do you stand on that?
I say fuck yeah.
Okay.
We did a foggy. So we did a collaboration with Modern Times, and so Andrew, the kind of head, I don't know what his title is.
I know Andrew.
Yeah, chief of experimentational radness or something. His title.
Yeah.
Him and Nick got together. We were at an event at Hamilton's Tavern in San Diego, and Andrew, of course, came up to Nick and was like, "I want to do something foggy with you guys. Let's do something foggy." And then Nick was like, "I want to do a lager with you guys," and I'm like, "No, Nick." No.
Yeah.
I love lagers personally. I love Nick's lagers. Like, they're amazing.
Right.
But you got one chance to brew with Modern Times, who's 850 times bigger than us.
Yeah.
And we're going to brew a lager.
No.
And of course,
because you want to sell beer. Oh, they did?
And so they invented a style called a foggy Pilsner.
Okay.
And they did our foggy IPA malt bill. And then their lager yeast, I think it's, I don't remember, their lager yeast, and then we dry hopped it with their Nelson, which is hand selected, and they were
because they get to do that. Yeah.
And it turned out incredible. We used the term foggy Pilsner on the can. No, first we did it. They were like, "Yeah, we'll give these fuckers like a tiny batch up in Portland." So we flipped to Portland to do it. It sold really well.
Okay.
And they were like, "Hey guys, like this is crushing it. Do you mind if we put it in cans and put your logo on it? We're like, oh,
now
no, we don't mind.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you were going to say no, please don't.
No, absolutely,
Of
yeah.
course we don't mind.
Yeah, there's
Put
a
it on
royalty.
it twice.
There's a royalty.
and then they've done multiple batches of it in cans, Foggy Pilsner. It's called Mist Dragon. And so at that point, it's like, Modern Times put Foggy on a beer, like it's done, it's out in the world. We'll never get credited with it, which is totally fine. That's it. Like, it's open source brewing.
Well, here you said it on a recording. And, 20 years from now, where they go to research the etymology of Foggy.
Yeah.
You guys will be like, right here.
Once again, we're just changing the brewing world, and no one will care, JP.
No one cares,
no
dude.
one will give a shit.
When is our behind the music episode?
When we make it. When we
too much work.
When we record it and produce it, so never.
You have to do something people like to get on a show like that.
Oh my God! I feel like we've done all the things that people like.
Yeah.
Just no one likes to talk about it.
We just don't like it.
We don't. We don't.
Right, exactly.
Maybe that's the problem.
I think it's more that we've done all the things that people like, but people don't like us.
I mean, it's so awesome that you
call.
guys got to do a collab with Modern Times. I have to ask you, how did you cultivate this level of buzz? Because as a brewery that we have limited time,
It sounds like Teresa's mad that she didn't get invited to brew.
Figure out how to create more buzz, and obviously, like, you guys are the masters.
How do you buzz?
I said to them at the break.
Step
We
one.
love Humble Tea in
Smile.
Sacramento. I've never had one of their beers, but they have a huge amount of buzz.
Okay.
Like, everybody talks about you guys.
So how?
That's insane to hear, by the way. That's crazy to hear. That there's a Sacramento contingent that loves us. That's fucking awesome.
I mean, I see people with your cans on our local beer group and on Facebook and everything. Like, it's just, you're a thing. So
shit.
How?
So
Frank?
how do you do that so I can do that?
Frank Scott.
I told you, the Slack channel with the beer names.
I see.
Yeah.
No,
A lot of this is luck, right?
100% of everything.
Well,
is
and
luck, I think.
just being cool guys. I mean, I think we kind of know why. I mean,
See? Because they make us feel comfortable.
I'm not that cool.
Yeah.
They make
But
you are
you
that
guys,
cool.
No,
Everyone
I'm
from
working
Santa
on it
Cruz is
every day.
super cool.
Except for Beardy.
Double chakra.
Hey, guys.
Double chakras. That'd be
What's your
chakra.
central chakra? No, I mean, I think in terms of buzz, like, we, as we mentioned before, we were dumb enough to start a brewery on a 1-barrel system. So there's this concept of Humble Sea Brewing Company, and we were out, and our beer was available, but nobody could get it. This kind of idea of, like, and that wasn't planned. Of course, you can't plan it to that dumb of a level.
But you pretend to.
You can,
You should pretend to. You'd be like, we're so unavailable.
Wait, well, it's too late, but that's exactly how we came off, which was, hey, have you heard about Humble Sea? There's a new brewery, like, they pop up here and there, but they're gone. And it's like, it wasn't necessarily because it was impossible to get our beer. It was just because, like, the quantities were so low.
Yeah. Right.
But that buzz continued into when we were opening our, 10-barrel system. We started with 4 10s and a 20. So not minimal, but not a lot. But we actually opened our tap room on our 1-barrel system with 11 barrels of fermentation space. And we fucked ourselves. Like, absolute, like, beyond all belief. So
hell yeah, dude. Congrats.
It was crap, dude. It was
I did that 3 times today.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, congrats.
Yeah. Hungover even.
But not 11 times.
Yeah.
Not 11. No, so it was like a full beer board on the board. We open up on a Friday.
For Monday.
I come back, I come back in on a Monday morning. We had 3 beers or 4 beers left.
Probably like 1.
Yeah. I want to say it was 3 beers. There was a brown ale.
Yeah.
There was
Still on
a
top,
smoked porter.
Okay.
And then
The beer's fire.
So all the styles that just aren't trendy.
Yeah, it was like
that aren't foggy or
dark,
squeezy.
like weird. I don't know.
Probably Nick's favorites, by the way.
Of course,
that smoked porter is like one of my favorite.
Nice.
beers.
I love smoked porter.
I keep trying to like get it in like the brewing schedule. I'm like, hey guys, I mean that smoked porter is probably one of the best beers we make.
Yeah.
Taylor sees it and just deletes it. I don't know what happened.
Do you want to make it on the 1-barrel system? No. Then we're not going to make it.
Would you guys want to do a collab with JP called the Squeezy Brown Ale?
Oh, Squeezy Brown. I wouldn't even be a part of that.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
You do it every day. Make a squeezy brown.
Nice. Nice.
Hopefully.
Get it, JP? It's a poop joke.
Oh,
Everybody poops.
Because you poop.
No.
Come on.
But I poop solid rocks.
Okay.
I don't drink a lot of water.
All right, listen, my hangover's going inverted. I'm done.
Hell yeah, dude! Like your belly button or your penis.
Yeah, it's like it's flipping the other side.
Yeah.
I love you guys so much. I love your beer. Get out. We're done. Actually, you're wonderful, and the beer is very tasty. I think I'm going to go back to the Pilsner to finish my night, although that dank AF beer is pretty good. So I'm still enjoying that. You can go to humblesea.com right now and check it out. You can learn more about them. Do you distribute outside of California yet?
Every once in a while.
Yeah?
Occasionally.
We have some pop-ups, you know?
Oh, shit, dude. You guys are you are extremely online. With pop-ups.
Pop-up beer.
Yeah,
The honest of wines.
Pop-up. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, next, like, we try to kind of show up in places. Like, when we're in a place, we want our beer to be there, too. So, like, next month, we're going to be at Modern Times Festival of Dankness in Portland.
Okay.
So, we're going to ship some beer up there and have some tap takeovers while we're in Portland. And then we're basically going to push Taylor into the bar, and then Nick and I are going to go drink a Pilsner in another bar.
Nice.
What is the date of that?
Time.
What's the date of that
smart.
event? I'm going to be passing through there next month.
Dankness.
I think it's
end of August.
End of August.
Last weekend of August, I think.
That's what.
Last Saturday.
That's Labor Day weekend.
Right.
Fuck.
I'm going to be just before. I'm going to Hop and Brew School up in Yakima, but I'm driving through Portland like the 3 days before or whatever. So, but it sounds like it's on Labor Day weekend. If that's the last weekend in August.
Yeah.
So close. So close. Well, at least we have your beer here at the Hop Grenade right now. You can come down to the Hop Grenade in Concord and check it out. And maybe if you guys are ever in Colorado, we should do a pop-up at our Hop Grenade in Fort Collins.
Yeah, we'll be there for GABF. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that just a tap takeover?
We could do that.
No, it's a pop-up.
It's
No, pop-up.
Sorry, guys. I'm
JP,
sorry.
Go back to marketing class school.
101.
Yeah, class school. All right. Well, do you guys want to hang out for a second, though? Because I'm going to take a break, and then we got to come back and do JP's stupid Twitter game.
Whoa, it was really good.
Amazing.
And finish more of your beer.
Oh, yeah.
Are you good with all that? Okay. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, a little more from Humble Sea, plus our Twitter game, plus JP is going to reveal a big secret about his life.
That's right.
Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Tyler from Libertine Brewing Company in the Central Coast of California. You're listening to Brewing Network, The Session. It sucks. Does it suck? It sucks. But that's what's good about it, is that it sucks, right?
Oh my gosh.
What's up, buddy?
Hi, Jip.
Hi, buddy.
Welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
It's like we're starting. I'm your host, Justin Crosley.
Show's brought to you by More Beer.
Yeah.
Go back to the beginning.
Tonight on the show, we've got Humble Sea Brewing Company, Nick Pavlina.
Close enough. Pavlina. I mean, it depends on where you're from in the world.
I think it
Whatever.
sounds
I like it better than I
Croatian,
said.
I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Frank Scott Kruger.
Still awesome.
What does that sound
Still awesome.
Still said it good.
like? Some weird German American person.
I'm really happy you guys were on the program tonight. Thanks for being here. Go to humblesea.com and learn more about them. And if you haven't had their beer, you should. And if you think you don't like foggy beers,
No.
see
Yeah,
that?
squeezy.
See that?
Solid.
If you think you don't like them, you're wrong. You should go try theirs. Nick's doing a good job. I feel like
Nick is doing a good job.
Here's what I've learned in tonight's interview.
Uh-oh.
Nick has worked very hard for your company.
Nick brews amazing beer.
He brewed all the beer. He built the thing. And Frank has done virtually nothing except for curate a fucking Slack channel to name the beers.
Yeah, and hire Taylor.
And hire Taylor.
Right.
So other than that,
didn't even do that.
Do I?
Right. That's what design
I bet
marketing
Nick.
is.
I bet Nick did.
Yeah.
Yeah, God damn. So
He's like, God damn it, I drove the van and now I'm an employee.
do I have this summary about right? What do you think, Frank?
I think that's pretty solid. Yeah. I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Right. Nick's grandma, not even his own grandma, like started the business.
Yep.
Yeah, Frank, you're just along for the ride, man. Good job.
Oh, let's be honest. Like, as ridiculous as the names are, like they would go nowhere if Nick's beer didn't actually back it up.
He makes great beer.
If the beer wasn't amazing, then
let's be real. He makes great beer. It was really nice.
And Frank waxes his mustache.
Oh, he at least does it. So which beard he can appreciate.
Yeah, I don't do it, but you know.
I mean, I would never do that. But all right. Well, we got a couple things left to finish up here, don't we, JP?
Yes.
And by a couple, I mean Twitter game. What was our Twitter game? I remember liking it.
It was Doc made a time machine, and we need to go back at some point in time, or in the future, you never know, to save craft beer from itself because it's pretty...
Because it's broken.
Yeah.
Things are broken.
Yeah. I was going to say it's pretty foggy out there, but then I was like, no, that sounds insulting to the guests, and I didn't mean it that way. So
and then someone will write in.
Right. Yeah. It's like slaving over pizza.
Are you guys making a hard seltzer yet? Seltzer?
A hard seltzer?
That's a thing, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're kind of working on like a normal seltzer.
You are? like a medium seltzer?
Yeah, like a non-alcoholic. Yeah.
Oh, non-alcoholic.
We're working on water.
We just want water.
We're working on
Fizzy water.
Like a mixed firm, barrel-aged, 18-month non-alcoholic seltzer.
Hell yeah, dude. Kettle soured.
Right.
I love it.
Sounds complicated, just like Humble Sea. I expect nothing less.
A squeezy seltzer?
Squeezy seltzer,
Everyone
baby.
kind of laughed in here, but they were sort of like, I think you might be serious.
They're totally doing that.
That's part of the problem with the beer industry.
Well, and we're actually 50% serious, so...
Yeah.
We're actually
You never know.
Talked about it.
deionizing Pacific Ocean water at a high cost, low profit. It's actually negative profit, but it's going to be huge.
Lagering seltzer water in the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do that someday.
You got the Marianas Trench right there.
For millions of years, we lagered this water.
That's right.
We just throw the barrels of water in the sea and let them go back and forth with the tide.
Humble Sea, still poor.
That's right.
That's their company
Why aren't
motto.
those guys making any money?
Yeah, yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah. Humble Sea, great beer. Own nothing.
Yeah.
All right, JP. How did our people do?
They did all right, Justin. They did pretty good. I'll let you grab the pen there and prepare for the nonstop writing of all of the 25 entries we have. To go
my
through.
God, are you going to read all 25?
I'm kidding.
Okay,
but we had a good amount. I whittled them down to 6.
6? I think my hangover can handle 6.
You think so?
Yep,
a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's about where I'm at. That's why we're still here.
Yeah.
Coulter writes in and says, Doc, please go back and stop sour IPA.
Ooh.
That's a thing?
It sucks and will continue to suck. Hoppy and sour just do not mix. Please stop it. Yeah, the Rare Bear makes a sour IPA, and
we just made a sour IPA with Rare Bro.
Apparently it sucks. So.
I'm actually personally a really big fan of the sour IPA.
So it is a thing, and it has been a thing. And
sure, home brewers invented it.
I will say it's gotten better because right when I first got into sour beer, some of the Belgians were like, "Oh, we should make like a hoppy," and they were all awful.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say they've gotten better. Hopefully, yours is in that department. We'll see.
Christian, I don't know which Christian, just somebody who's religious, apparently.
Christian.
I'm sure.
Are you allowed to not be religious and name your kid Christian?
I fucking hope
Is that
so.
a thing?
Yeah, I think the guitarist from Slayer is called Christian.
There you go, then.
I'm sure Doc will go back in time to stop the Alchemist from making the first hazy NE IPA.
Okay, so hang on. I have to figure
Apparently,
out.
we've recruited some anti-hazy people out there.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Wait, JP's not alone.
Right.
I just have a bunch
Michael
of Russian
thinks he's
bots.
alone, but
Ryan says, Time Machine, a small book that gives us all the scores of big games. Let's be real here. We could be InBev or Constellation Brands. We can save good beer with buyouts, all while Justin lives out his coke and heroin fantasies.
oh God, yeah.
So apparently we would just...
When he puts it that way,
Right?
I was totally until you got to the end. I was not even. I did not make a single note.
Yeah.
I was writing that one off.
Just put Ryan and then fantasy.
The end is total pandering.
Because what he's saying is we're actually not saving craft beer. We're just allowing me to live out my end of days on heroin and cocaine.
Well, I think he's saying both. Like we could buy a good craft brewery and then, actually help it grow instead of slowly water it down until we have to sell it off to pay off our debts and kill it.
I don't know if he's a winner yet, but I love him for his vision.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Topher, which, again, fake name, come on. I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
Go back to the date of Justin's conception and stop it from happening.
That will save craft.
Clearly, the Brewing Network is at fault for expanding the hobby of home brewing and therefore the cause of so much bad beer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never looked at my career that way.
Yeah,
Thank
Justin.
you. I might kill myself tonight.
You're the problem.
As if I had enough. I didn't have enough things to hate myself for. Now I'm actually single-handedly responsible for the ruin of craft beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as your luck goes,
heroin and cocaine.
That sounds way better.
Yeah.
Brian says Doc should take us to 2010 and stop Instagram from being created. No Instagram, no beer influencers, no garbage beer. I'm not entirely sure the correlation works, but I do like the fact that there's no beer influencers in this guy's timeline. That's cool.
Garrett Oliver did blame Instagram for hazy New England IPA.
He did?
Yeah.
He did. What did he say?
He said the whole reason
Instagram is fault for hazy.
Right, basically what I said.
Okay.
Just in his voice.
Exactly.
Wait,
words.
Can you say it so I would understand it?
He said the only reason New England IPA is popular is because of Instagram.
Really?
Because it takes a picture.
Is this famous? Does everybody know that?
Yeah.
This is like a
it's
thing?
a very visual
Super
style.
recent.
But honestly,
It's
when
striking.
you look at this,
I think
it doesn't look like a good beer.
But on Instagram with some really sweet filters from 4 years ago.
Then it did.
You think?
See, I have a weird internal relationship with Garrett, too, because...
Internally.
Tell us more.
When
He
I
doesn't actually know him.
Yeah,
when
Garrett
I-
doesn't know about it.
I do know him. When I started my career, I was like, I don't know. He's a little fucking douchey, right? Like, I've always a little pretentious, a little douchey.
You're like, I don't know, black people and beer doesn't make sense. I don't get it.
It wasn't a race thing.
He did
then.
write the encyclopedia of beer.
That was much later in my career. I'm sorry. Yeah, look, I've had a long career, believe it or not. And then, as the years went by, I was like, man, I kind of like everything that comes out of this guy's mouth.
Yeah.
I think that Garrett always has a pretty concise perspective about what is happening in the beer world. And so I did not know about this Instagram thing, but it's like another thing where I'm like, shit, Garrett's probably right.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he was very sort of off-putting when brewers sort of became celebrities on a national level, like the internet sort of skyrocketed a lot of people.
And he was part of that. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And then, but the triple, the three-piece double-breasted suit with his logo like embroidered on it. It was kind of like, what the fuck?
Right.
We all wear jorts, you know what I mean? And this cat's walking around, but he's the larger his platform became, the more sense he actually made to everybody.
And then even looking back at that, I was wrong. I actually think it's totally cool that he was like, hey, why don't we respect beer enough to wear a suit? Like, I don't know, I kind of love the guy is what I'm saying. And I did not realize he did the hazy beer thing. He had said something else about hazy beers. The only thing I remember is that he was like, oh, okay, hazy beer, cool. If you can sell your beer in 5 minutes, go ahead. Hazy beer's good. But if it's going to sit on the shelf at all, hazy beer is the worst thing that ever happened to beer. Sure. I'm paraphrasing, but it's basically what he said. He's like, sell your beer in 5 minutes, go right ahead. Other than that, not a good thing.
Yeah. Again, Garrett's not wrong.
He's just not wrong. He wrote like you said, the guy wrote the encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Yeah. Last but not least, Derek says, go back to the mid-2000s to stop all the douche bros.
Douche bros.
Apparently douche bros.
Are we talking about Taylor right now? He's not here. I don't think we should talk about him that way.
No, Taylor's a kind soul.
Okay.
You're talking about me, though.
Stop them all from becoming craft beer fans. With them out of the picture, brewers won't have to chase stupid fucking fads like the IBU wars and hazy everything just to stay in business and can concentrate on making good beer. I'm glad no one's
douche bros' fault.
I'm glad no one's talking about foggy or squeezy beers. We're only talking about hazy.
Yeah, those are so cool.
Yeah, those are totally no douche.
We're fine. We don't fall into this category.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, douche bros, beer name. Thank you.
Right?
Douche bros.
That's a great.
Pretty sure Frank wrote that down.
One of our first can releases was called Juice Bag.
Oh, I love that.
Named after Taylor.
You guys are too goddamn good, man. That's too goddamn good. Teresa's so upset right now. She's like, we don't have names like this. Shit. That's a good name.
I love my names.
Yeah.
I love my beer names.
Give us some beer names, Teresa.
Well, one of my favorites is Thirsty Pretzels, which is the Munich Dunkel.
That's a great name.
It's a great beer, too.
That's a great name.
Sounds like a great beer.
It's weird because it makes your mouth want more beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've all experienced that feeling.
Especially from a Munich Dunkel.
Yeah.
And of course, 1-2 Punch.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is like,
I love that one, too.
it's not that clever of a beer name, but it sticks with you.
And it actually fits the beer really well. I like that name.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's awesome that you actually got that name. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, that it was still there. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we do. I mean, at this point, that beer's gotten so big for us. I think we should try to trademark it. But
if that's a serious, if you
don't.
When we first brewed it, oh god, I brewed it for 2 years. But I remember searching for it, and I was like, really, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't taken already?
Don't do it. But you think it's over when you register it.
Oh, it's just begun.
You think that it's over. It's actually then just begins. Then you have to fucking fight about it all the time. You have to send letters every month.
Yeah.
That's why we have John at the Beer Law Center.
Beer Law Center, John.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to have to fight. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Bevo took a picture outside of the place.
Yes.
Outside of the place that thinks they're suing me for taking their trademark. Which I thought was cool.
I thought for sure it was going to court, but now they don't know, or you don't know, or... Okay. All right. I love it.
I had a BN hoodie with me, but it was hot as hell, so I didn't have it on.
Right.
Only Bev would bring a hoodie to the south in the summertime.
Louisiana.
It was cold on the airplane.
Ugh.
I have to answer an email tomorrow, which I have a strong feeling will result in court.
Nice.
Oh.
Because I'm rejecting their final offer.
Good.
So.
What's the final offer?
Are you
interested in investing in Humble Sea?
Shit. It's bad timing. I mean, I might lose, I would have to change the name of my bar if I lose.
Such a good name.
But I think I'm going to do it anyway.
You're gonna change the name?
No.
Oh,
I'm
go
gonna
to
fight.
court. You should.
Yeah,
fuck it. Who cares?
Are you going to sit on a Xerox machine and send that with your email?
Yeah.
I came up with the perfect response.
Now that's a frothy grommet.
Yeah, that is a frothy grommet.
Nice. Frothy grenade. It'll be fine.
Frothy grenade. Grenade is exactly the problem.
Yeah.
The word grenade is exactly what I'm being sued about. Anyway, all right. Travel back in time and eliminate sour IPA.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm going to exclude that one.
Yeah, because it's not really the problem with beer. I mean, it's a small...
Right. It's not why we're dying a slow death.
No.
By we, I mean me and JP specifically.
Right, yeah.
No, JP's not. He's got a tattoo that says, remember, he won't die.
I'm going to die at some point. Might as well deal with it now. Might as well have fun now.
I love that you got those words tattooed to you because you are a worried about death guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're like you're the in other words, you're the last person that has to be reminded that one day you'll die.
Yeah,
you remind yourself every 8.5 seconds.
That's true. And with that, I was talking to Taryn about it actually before I got it done, and I was like,
it's nice that
I'm a little concerned. Yeah, I'm a little concerned that it's like going to trigger me when I see it.
Every time you see yourself.
Yeah, but then it's like, it's in a positive way.
It is.
Yeah, it's in like. It's remembering that it doesn't matter.
It's
just
fine.
have fun now.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned about the placement because if you look, all you can see is the Latin for "you will die."
That's true. The top part is above your sleeve,
you have a sleeve.
So you won't see "remember." You'll just see every day.
And I'm all right
you
with it.
will
You will
die.
Yeah. It's very threatening.
It's all the same.
You guys are underestimating how often JP doesn't have a shirt on at home.
It's true.
You're right.
That's true.
Oh well, that's all the day.
Yeah.
Okay, the second one is go back in time and stop the alchemist from making a hazy beer.
First hazy beer.
I'm going to leave that in the lineup.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the beer equivalent of killing Hitler, right? I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Not that it's the same. You know what I mean, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
It's the Valkyrie of... never mind.
Yeah,
Is that,
sure.
Just because the Greeks died a long time ago doesn't make that better.
All right, number 3, Ryan says that we would go back in time, invest in a big brewery so that Justin could live out his fantasies of cocaine and heroin.
Yes.
I am obviously leaving that in the running.
Yeah.
And is there a way we could make it come true?
I talked to Doc. He owns the time machine. I might be able to sneak in a little bit, but...
I mean, do you want to just, JP, do you feel like after hosting a few shows, you want to just take over the Brewing Network and somehow I go away and do cocaine and heroin until I die?
Yeah, I think we could work something out. I would just basically cancel every show, moving forward, right? Put everything behind a paywall, and then just
get it paid for it.
Yeah.
And then give the most depressing updates ever about Justin.
Would they be depressed? I don't think they'd be depressed. I think I'd be a happy guy. I'd be happy.
I mean, at that point, we should
on
just
the outside.
Run a poll.
Try
to make money on that. Just run a weekly poll. Like, where is Justin in life at this point?
Good call. Good call.
How many teeth does he have left?
Yeah. How many track marks on the the elbow area? What was number 4? I wrote...
Just go back to the date of your conception to stop it from happening. Because
I wrote eliminate Justin. This was my summary of that one was eliminate Justin. That's why I didn't know what it was.
You would be a good Cliff Note writer, dude, and you could do a job with Cliff Notes.
So it was to go back in time and make sure I wasn't conceived so that beer would be better.
Right, because it's the Brewing Network's fault for expanding home brewing.
I'm leaving that in the running.
I figured. I mean,
The next one I have is that Instagram is responsible for bad beer.
Yep, so no Instagram, which, I'm not really...
I'm going to get rid of that one just because we already gave Garrett his props, which he deserves.
That's true. Well, there's also a lot of boobs on Instagram, and that's, come on, dude.
And then the last one was, I just wrote down Douche Brothers, but I forget what it was.
Basically Douche Bros.
Douche Brothers.
So brewers can, make good beer, like Pilsners.
Oh, if we got rid of Douche Bros. I'm going to eliminate that to...
Like IBU, like all that kind. Yeah, I mean, it's a little... a lot of these people really thought this out, and which is good. Yeah. But you're just sitting to explain everything and put it in a context, and it's no fun.
We don't like thinking here.
So we have three final Twitter categories to vote on. Everybody gets to vote. Bevo gets to vote twice.
Does Teresa get to vote twice?
No.
No?
I might just abstain because these are all mean.
They're mean. People are mean on Twitter.
They're super mean.
Sure.
People are mean on
social
Twitter.
media. Exactly. First of all, you are not allowed to abstain.
Yeah. Oh,
Teresa,
okay.
It's part of the deal.
He's being mean.
Okay, so I will just vote for the one where you don't die or become a drug addict.
Why wouldn't you vote for me to become a drug addict? That's
or die?
I want in life.
Don't you want him to be happy?
Yeah, you don't like him.
Listen, I had 2 goals in life. One of them was to not have a real job. Succeeded.
Okay.
2 is to become a great drug addict.
A great drug addict.
That would be really good.
One of the truly greats in the world.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to decide between the one of you becoming a drug addict or dying.
Oh, right, I am. There are 2 things. Yeah. Oh, it never existed, to be specific.
Same difference.
You didn't die. You just were prevented from being...
Okay.
The condom would have actually worked.
Raise your hand.
What's a condom?
And Nick, I just want to point out, if you raise your hand for this first one, you're a very conflicted individual.
Okay.
Raise your hand if you're going to go back in time and stop the alchemist from producing the first ever hazy beer. 2 votes. 3 votes. Pasuti
with her
coming in with the shocker,
the unthinkable,
So we have to vote on any of these.
You do. There's 2 more.
Nick's like, can I just leave?
Yeah, drug addict, right?
If you want to join me, I'll add you to mine. Yes. So 3 votes.
Oh wait, what?
One of them was Pasuti's to go back and disinvent the hazy. Wow.
I'm just trying to keep you alive, dude.
Yeah.
The other 2 suck.
That's where I was going with that one. Yeah.
Raise your hand if we're going to go back in time and invest enough money into a successful brewery like Ballast Point so that Justin can do cocaine and heroin until he dies.
Big fan.
Frank, thank you so much.
Huge fan.
Nick, also, Bevo double.
I
got both of Bevo's votes.
Wow.
Because Because they just want me to be happy.
Are you kidding?
Well, and I figure
That's
I've
incredible.
been with this company. Like, if we invest in bigger companies, I'll make some more money.
Oh, you'll do so much better
Right.
if I'm in the gutter somewhere.
All
Absolutely.
of the money is
Hell
going
yeah.
to his cocaine habit.
It doesn't have to
All
be
of
good
it.
cocaine.
I can't
No,
possibly
Ballast
do
Point money.
that much. Yeah, Ballast Point money.
We're
I
talking
can't
Ballast
do
Point
that
money.
much heroin.
You got to
No,
believe
but-
in yourself.
Don Simpson was doing like $60,000 a month in cocaine. So,
but we're talking $1 billion here.
No, for sure. You're not. You can't do all the profits, but you
can't
can
do all
put
of
a
it.
healthy dent in it.
I'd like to think I would.
In your septum.
Also,
He's just trying to be
But
happy.
I feel like he should he has a stipend, and if you get down to that last $200 or $300, you better make sure you buy the enough to actually end it.
As
'Cause
I would.
Your money's done.
Listen,
Bro.
of course. All right, well, the winner, because Bevo put both of her votes towards my demise, is
Ryan.
Ryan, ladies and gentlemen.
But at least I wanted you to be born.
Yeah, that's true. I appreciate that. I appreciate that out of you. All right, that's our Twitter game today. Next week, we are not on the air. We are,
All right.
Everybody gets to go home and do home things.
You're
whatever
mourning
those-
my death in Alaska?
Whatever those, yeah.
Sure. Yes.
Beardy.
Morning. Yes.
Beardy and his wife, who have never been backpacking ever in the history of their life.
Not even for a brief overnight to get used to it or whatever.
Yeah, not even like hiking down to the 7-Eleven.
I said
They've
you
never
can do
even
Mount Diablo overnight as a backpack.
Yeah, are now going to Alaska.
Yeah.
To backpack. Clearly your wife's idea.
Yes, totally.
Have you recently signed up for life insurance?
That you know of.
Yes, Candy did take out a policy that's twice as big on me as
Yeah.
it is her.
Interesting.
But I think that's coincidence.
That's
Yeah,
probably
I think-
coincidence. I wouldn't worry
Well,
about
you've
it.
been in like 12 car accidents in the past 5 years, so
Yeah.
None of them my fault.
So you guys are
No
going
one's truly not
backpacking in Alaska.
Yeah.
You're not going to the into the wild bus though.
We are going right next to it.
You are.
That's the plan, and maybe because
Don't. Someone literally just died.
that's because they let go of the rope in the river.
Oh my
That
god.
sounds like a them problem.
It does sound like a them problem.
Just hold on to the rope. You have one job.
I
in the
like
river.
you kind of, sort of, a little. So
Uh-oh.
I'd like you to come back from Alaska.
Okay, well, I'll try.
that makes one of us.
Yeah.
You have to talk to Candy about that because this is her plan.
Are you bringing like weapons or anything for the polar bears?
They're
Well,
penguins, and
They're definitely not polar bears, bro.
They're not? Okay.
I brought a tent and a backpack.
tents
Okay.
have poles. That'll be good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think I can fend off a bear with a
Well,
fiberglass
you
pole?
make yourself
Sword.
taller, so you just put it on top of your head.
Frank Scott, what's your advice for Beardy going into the wild with his wife who's never backpacked before? What do you think?
I'm just surprised that Bev mentioned polar bears and you said poles, and there wasn't a pun that actually happened.
That
There,
how you didn't get a beer name out of it? You're just mad you didn't get a beer name out of it?
Bummed about the polar.
We're
bear
not here
part.
to make up beer names for all your beers.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we weren't invited to the Slack channel, so
That's true.
yeah. Mhm.
Teresa's contributing right now to it.
Yeah.
It's all in my mind. My Slack channel is right here.
Right. Slacking.
Yeah, so
usually slacking.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I mean, I might come back.
Okay.
You know.
All
We'll
right.
see.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you were dead to me already because you're leaving the show. So
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
But I didn't finish Into the Wild, but I mean, the guy seemed to have a great start. So
He did have a great start. He had a great time and a great start. And I would, don't finish the book. I'd
Okay.
leave it there.
All right.
Yeah, eat berries and plants and shit.
Okay.
And don't worry about what they are.
Just if I see
Yes.
a berry, eat it.
Eat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you see
Leaves,
rocks. If you're hungry
small pebbles,
and there's a delicious looking rock, eat it.
Handful of sand.
Every
hour.
I've also wanted to high five a bear, so I think
You should do
that's
that.
Probably going to go well.
Yeah.
You know, I bet the first joke he's gonna hear when he gets off the plane in Alaska is, "What'd you forget?" Because he looks like a mountain man, and he's coming back to.
You didn't even have to.
What'd you forget?
You didn't have to do all that. I got it just from
but
the
no one
thing.
said everyone.
No, but you didn't give me a chance. I thought it was fine the way it was.
All right, can we get out of here, please?
I think you're fine the way you are, Jay.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
How about that?
Love fest here.
All right, Beardy. Well, good luck.
Yes.
I wish you meant that.
I don't know what else to say to you.
Good luck, I guess. I don't know.
Have fun being buried by a bear to come back and get eaten later, dude.
I feel like I look like Grizzly Adams, so they'll just be like, "Oh, hey, welcome back."
Welcome back.
Nice. Yeah.
They might do that. Yeah, you can't flag down help when you look like Beardy because he looks like he knows how to do all the things.
Like a bear.
Yeah, like he doesn't. Need
wow,
help.
the bear's real. The global warming really is killing the bear.
Where'd that bear get a haircut?
Like skinny and pale, and
yes,
they look more like us than we do like them.
The polar bears are a lot whiter than I thought they'd be.
Go to humblesea.com. You can check out and learn more about our guest tonight. Of course, we had Nick and Frank on the program. Thanks for joining us. But the better thing about going to humblesea.com is that you can see photos of Taylor.
That's right.
Is really why. Really why you would want to go. So do that. Go to humblesea.com. Find out where you can get their beer. If you're ever in Santa Cruz, go check it out. By the way, the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk is still a nice place to visit. I think you should go. And then there's other beaches that you're allowed to swim at. Right?
Well,
usually.
Yeah, every other beach.
Exactly.
Kind of.
That one.
Sort of. Kind of. Keep an eye out for the next Fill Our Truck event that Humble Sea might be doing. You guys are philanthropists, and I appreciate you for that. And I think you have some good ideas, and I really liked hearing about that. So, cool stuff. All right. What?
That's it.
Why do you have to look at me like that?
I'm just looking at you.
I know, but I don't. It makes me uncomfortable. Bevo's giving me the same look.
How should I look at you?
I'm the one who's hungover. What are you guys looking at me like that?
I look like a bloated mother.
My whole room smells like pizza, and I'm starving.
Also, Jay, I won't repeat it.
Thank you.
Because she doesn't. She has
That's
no
the
idea.
best. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I did hear it. I thought you were talking about your own mom, not mine.
No.
Good night, Pasuti. We'll see you next time. All right, JP, take us out of here, please.
I didn't really mean bloated.
Shut up.
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get
fat.
absolutely everything you need
She
to
was
make
cremated.
great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. Fathers of Foggy, Frank and Nick from Humble Sea Brewing out of Santa Cruz, California, brought a Pilsner for us, and I think some other beers, but I can't really remember what style they were.
Fathers of Foggy.
Hit them up at humblesea.com. Head over to etsy.com/coveyears and buy some of my Disneyland-themed t-shirts, the profits of which will go towards me sinking all of my retirement into buying the dip in crypto. Get on Twitter for some good beer insight and homebrew info, and follow Nate Smith at Nathan Homebrew, Mike McDowell at Tasty McD. Warren is stuck over at Another Beardy, but not for too much longer. JP knows Twitter is dead, so he's on Instagram at Major Jip. And our newest brewcaster, Teresa, is online at Pasuti Brews, right? Pasuti Brews, that's what I said. And Crooked Lane Brewing, and you can find Bevo there as well at Beverly M. Moore. Be sure to find the Brewing Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Justin's in my sky and winning the race. JP does great